How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is AgriBusiness Tonight, a show where we get to talk about news, mods, maps, the whole 9 yards that we're going to be talking about for the past week. So, going to be really looking forward to this week. There's been several releases here, several bits of news I'm looking forward to seeing here, and yeah, really looking forward to getting to relay it to everybody out there tonight. So we are just going to wait here just a few minutes until we actually get both streams fired up there, so we'll kind of go from there. Jonah, how's it going, bud? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hello, friends. Let's see. So Brady, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hello, everyone. Hello, Brady. Let's see. Close on that. Got everything up and running on my end.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's WGG here. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is having a fantastic night. I am here with BDD.
How's it going, everybody?
And we have, well, not a whole lot of news to talk about, but a decent amount of mods to talk about, so.
Yeah, we got a fair bit. I mean, it's not, it's certainly not like it was last week.
Yeah, no. No.
Hopefully we won't have too many 1.3 moments.
Yo, imagine like this week if we get like double the mods we got like last week.
Oh my goodness. Let's not put that one on us.
Right. Jonah, what is going on, man? He said hello.
Jonah!
Alright, well, we're gonna dive right into it because hopefully get through all this. So the very first one we're talking about here is Palanque. This is by Bartson V3. It is 184.18 megabytes to download. And there are 5 required mods.
So I absolutely love this map. So normally I'm not huge on this style, but there's something about this, and Bartson V3, who is the map maker for this one, made a similar map for FS22 called Woznies, and I say it's similar because of the way that the fields and stuff are kind of laid out, but it's more that kind of style that it has. But there's just something about this map that is just absolutely gorgeous, highly detailed, even though like the file size is not that large. 184.18 megabytes to download is not that bad when all things are considered. But I don't know, there's just something about this map that really kind of drew me in. And during my tour, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, I highly recommend this one.
And as it stands right now, has a 3.8 by 278 people.
So I'm a little bit above the average.
Let's see here. Yeah, I did watch your map tour. I mean, it's not a bad map. I mean, it's not a map for me. It's a very beautiful map, but like I said, that's not necessarily for me. Next one, I like this one a whole lot. This is the JCB backhoe loader. Yeah. This is by Kenny456. It is 29.71 megabytes to download. And then it comes, of course, you got the vehicle, and then you got different attachments for it, which I think it's kind of weird because it comes with the main standard bucket for it, which you can have it open or close. So you can like open it kind of like a cha-cha. And then it comes with 2 rear buckets and a couple grapples and stuff like that, but you can have them either dangled or not. So
this one here, it's 30 megabytes to install, just about, which is a little bit high, but you do get, all the different buckets and attachments and all that stuff, which, I mean, you can kind of see where that file size is coming from. So that I can understand. My problem with this is not necessarily the file size as much as it is the hyper-specific use cases for this. So really, this is going to be your front-loader tools, kind of thing, with a few exceptions here and there. You're going to be able to put on like a little log grab on the back end of it and whatnot. But I mean, really, other than that, this is essentially just a front loader. And for $165,000 to purchase the just main unit, that's really expensive for for a front loader. And we got the base game front loader. If I remember correctly, it is looking. Here we go. You could look at the Schaefer, you could look at the Kubota as front loader tools. I mean, essentially we'll do the same exact thing with the exception of having that rear grapple for half the price. I mean, in all reality, the Schaefer is $57,300 and the Kubota is $74,000. This is $165,000, so more than double the price, and you're not really getting a bunch of bells and whistles for it. Now, the one thing I will say that is awfully tempting is if you look at the very last screenshot here.
Yeah.
There's a strap that's attached to the back of the arm. So that there really makes it tempting because that is a pretty good use case.
Well, also, if you look at that picture very closely, right where that tension is, like the tension belt that's like attached to like the upper part of that arm.
Mm-hmm.
If you detach that, there's actually a hook that's actually you attach big bags to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, like I said, it's one of those where that leaves it tempting, but between the file size and the price, I mean, I think I'll just wait for either like the CSZ pack, if that is planning on coming out, or something similar to that to get the straps that I so desire.
Right. Oh, Jonah says 4 out of 5 for me. Oh yeah. Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Lizard 60. This is by Farm Central Seoul. This is 12.31 megabytes to download. Now this, it costs $8,000, requires 75 horsepower. Now it does say transports grain, seeds, and fertilizers. Capacity is 6,000 to 8,500 liters. Now this thing, I'm very thinking about watch Looney Farm guys mod review on this, but this holds everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this one I really like. It's less than 13 megabytes to install, and it's a very small introductory size auger wagon. So if you tend to use an auger wagon, this is a really good starter's option. So it requires 75 horsepower. That's nothing. That's really nothing. But the smallest one that we have in game that we can use is the Demco 850 single auger grain cart, $68,500, and it requires 175 horsepower. It has a 30,000 liter capacity. This is $8,000. So you're talking $60,500 cheaper than the cheapest one that you can get base game. And it holds, up to 8,500 liters. So it's significantly less, but you're spending significantly less. So again, like I said, perfect for the introductory farm.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely 100%. And it's a great starting one. Let's see here. Next one's going to be the Kloss Cargos 9500. This is by Max Kwan. Love that name. Size is going to be 17.13 megabytes to download. Your price tag is going to be $145,500. Your required horsepower is 235. Your capacity is 44,000 liters, and you got 10 liters for your silage additive. I really like this.
So, looks good. It's got the good, Kloss branding and all that stuff. 17 megabytes is a little bit high, but I can overlook that because are kind of comparables. This is kind of an in-betweensy kind of one. We've got the Fendt Tego 75 VRD for $141,000 and 150 horsepower required, and it holds 40,500 liters. And the kind of other end of that one is the Pontinger Jumbo 8450 DB, 158,000 to purchase, 250 horsepower, and 47,300 liters that it holds. So this is, like I said, kind of that in-betweensy kind of thing. And, at $145,500, it's only $4,500 more than the Tego, the Fendt brand. I mean, It's 4,000, yeah, 3,500 liters more for just a few $1,000s extra. That's not bad. And it has the silage out of a tank, which is also very nice. I mean, all in all, yeah, it's a good one. And again, yeah, a little high on the install, but I can overlook that. I'd go for it.
Yeah, 100%. I installed that right away. I'm like, yep. Let's see here. And the next one is going to be the Goldhofer STZ Special Low Loader. This is 8.35 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $133,000. This is actually a very unique low loader because okay, so I'm looking at the last screenshot and like where it dips down for like your forestry equipment, like for like the wheels. You can actually I forgot what button. I think it's like unfold or something like that. It actually no, it's open cover. Those will actually like go whoop. They'll actually like flip flop and it'll actually become like one straight. So you can bring a combine or something under it. It's pretty neat.
Oh, that's really nice. So yeah, it's $133,000 to purchase this, and that puts it right at the very top end of the spectrum. I mean, it's would be the most expensive one. So 8.35 megabytes to install. That's not too bad for what you're getting there. And having that as kind of a party trick to where it will actually fold up the fold to be flat, and you can see it here in the third screenshot where it's got the Rex. What is that called? The oh goodness, it's the forestry bit. Help me out here, Will. What is it called?
The Plymouth.
Yeah, the Primroth. That's it. You can see how it's flat right there, just in front, and it's got the turning wheels in the rear. So that thing's going to get through a lot of the really tighter areas. So all in all, I mean, yeah, it's about $25,000 more expensive than any other base game trailer. But I mean, it's got some things up its sleeve. So I'd say yeah, go for it.
Plus, also from I believe it's from like so if you think at the rear, because you got like the first, second, third axle. So if you think of the first axle, right after that, like it has like a little divot in it. That part it can actually extend, like so you can push it backwards to make it a little bit bigger,
Okay.
which is kind of neat. So
Yeah, very cool.
next one is going to be the Bachmann TL AL pack. This is by Kazdan 18. This is 18.75 megabytes to download. There are two trailers, so you have like a single axle and you have a double axle. For your single axle is going to be $2,700, and for your double it's going to be $3,339.
So we've got the Steama Trias for $9,500 base game. I mean, 19 megabytes for a itty bitty single or double axle, trailer. That's a bit rich for my blood. I would hard pass on it just because of the high megabyte download. But it's one of those where it's also much cheaper than the Steama. These start at 2,700 and 3,300. For the single versus doubles. That cost savings to me personally is not enough to overcome that 19 megabytes to install. So it'd be a pass for me.
They look great though.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see here. Oh, actually, speaking of this modder, we were talking about them earlier before the stream. So the Madara Agro Dunav RNT series. This is by EED123. He's also known on Facebook as EED123 Three's Corner, I believe it was. So you have 4 different trailers in here, as you can see in the last screenshot here. So you got a small one, a medium, and then you got a medium that had not a dolly, and then you got a bigger one. So, and as you can see right here, so for the smaller one, $15,000 with a capacity of 10,000 liters. For the middle-sized dolly, it's for both of them, there's $20,000. Capacity is 15,000 liters. The bigger one is $29,000 with a 22,000 liter capacity.
So 37 megabytes to install this one. This one is very high up there. We've got tons of options for trailers. So unless this is something like a brand that you personally would like, me personally, full stop right there at the megabyte size. Some other kind of key things that I look for when I'm investing in a trailer is I try as best as I can to get about $1,000 per 1,000 liters, and not a single one of these kind of hit that mark. You're spending about 1,500 ish for these trailers in comparison. Now the biggest one kind of shrinks that down just ever so slightly, but not much. So yeah, it's one of those that's kind of my sweet spot, about $1,000 per 1,000 liters when it comes to a trailer. And like I said, we've pretty much got all of these, base game. You figure the 10,000 liter, most of these are swivel axle trailers. So that one's going to be about the closest we got is the FarmTech DDK 2400, $30,000 for 14,000 to start. So you're going to already get, 4,000 liters more. This one's a little bit cheaper on the price, but not by a ton. It's about half the price, but you're getting 4,000 liters less. I don't know, just me personally, that megabyte size is just really hard to overcome.
Uh, Now I do know that he wanted to submit these in like individually, but Giants made him put it into a pack, which I get.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
it's one of those that it's unfortunate for us console players because there's tons of mods, me personally, that I would love to have, but because they're a part of these packs, and these packs tend to increase the size, it's a hard pass because I've got to be conscious about
yeah.
how much space I use.
Yep. Yep. Now this next one I like a lot too. I don't know why. I just love it. So the next one's gonna be the cargo cart. This is by PT Mods. It's going to be 1.02 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $200. Now this I find it very interesting because okay, so let's just say if like you need like let's just say for like the third picture you need like a pallet of your twine or net for your baler, and it's like, oh, it's in the shop, it's like it's in this area, I can't get it close enough. You just, instead of trying to bring a skid steer in there, just just I don't know, just pick it up, put it on there, and I just think it's something different, you know.
I wholeheartedly agree. For about a megabyte to install, it's $200 a buy. You can have a pallet of whatever, just kind of riding along on the cart, kind of thing, which is kind of cool. I mean, especially if you've got a building or something that has very tight, spaces kind of thing, but you want to use it as your storage space. A perfect example would be in Riverbend. There's that building that you can build on the main farm there. This might be a good one where you can actually get the cart through that door and actually utilize that space that you just built, kind of thing. Otherwise, it's completely useless, that space. And you could buy, I mean, for $200, I mean, you could buy dozens of these little carts and having a pallet of this, a pallet of that, and just kind of lug it around wherever you want and have them in a storage shed somewhere. I mean, yeah, I think this is kind of cool. Not something I'd go running out to download, but something that I would kind of tool around with from time to time.
Well, also, if you think about it too, um, is that if you're actually playing from the ground up, and so like when Mr. Hector's mod comes out, where you can have like the single bags, you can stack a couple single bags on there and bring them out to your cedar from like a storage area.
Yep,
You know?
exactly. Well, and
So
this offers a good opportunity for people like myself who are, doing series, whether role playing, whether let's plays and things like that, as just a kind of story enhancing. Just one of those where it's just kind of there and is kind of window dressing, but it's something that's going to be unique to the story or to the tales that are being told.
oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is be the Trail Lifter. This is by Anur Emre. This is gonna be a 2.98 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $15,000.
So I love this one. I absolutely love this one. The reason being is that when we start getting some of the bigger uh, the bigger tractors and stuff, like if we ever get like the Big Bud or something like that, that's not fully equipped with like rear 3-point links or something like that, then this allows you to utilize a 3-point linked implement and not have to have any kind of conversion, or be able to utilize the full range of vehicles that are out there and not worry about what kind of linkage it has in the rear. I don't think there's anything base game right now that doesn't have a 3-point link uh, that I can think of. Like I said, the Big Bud is the one that I'm thinking off the top of my head that I know didn't have a 3-point link. It just had the pin hitch, and this is what that's trying to overcome. So right now it's not really useful, but for less than 3 megabytes to install, 15 grand to buy, yes, 100%. I installed this one on my series.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Silo Press 33. This is by Red Eye 90. This is 6.20 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $6,500. You have a working width of 3.3 meters, which is what it is. I don't really use these. I mean, someone might, but I personally don't.
I don't do a ton of silo compaction or anything like that, so it's just one of those where, again, just like you're saying, it's not something that I utilize. So, but the megabyte size is not that bad. It's less than 7, and the price for it is $6,500. I mean, that seems good, objectively. So I would say that if you're somebody who likes to do silage work, in pits and whatnot, this would probably be a good one to get.
Mm-hmm. Next one is going to be the Steel MS500i. This is by Gamer HZSFSH. What a name. It's going to be 1.40 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $1,100. Well, required power is 6.8 horsepower. You can't be kidding me right now. I mean, if you don't like the steel base game, then I guess this would be good for you. But I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the base game one. So.
I mean, less than 2 megabytes to install. It's a little bit more expensive. I would really hope that there's some kind of trick up this thing's sleeve, if it cuts a little bit faster or something. Yeah, if it's all kind of stock standard kind of chainsaw, then me personally, I don't even give a second look to a chainsaw that's like that's from the mod hub. And it's nothing against the mod. It looks good. I'm sure it functions just fine, but all the base game stuff is satisfactory. I mean, it's I can't think of a purpose outside of having something unique like the lightsaber from last May from FS22, like something like that, where you have those kind of niche kind of things. Those I can understand, like the machete. I think there was the machete from earlier this year for FS25. Things, the axe, things like that. I can understand putting those in, but if it's just a chainsaw and it doesn't have any bells and whistles to it, like the extended reach from FS22, then I personally don't see the point of installing an extra chainsaw, especially if you're going to spend an extra $100 just to buy it.
Right. I 100% agree. Next one is going to be Gas Can. This is by Yellow from SC Ag. That's really weird, but okay. Change your name, buddy. It's going to be 0.35 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $150. Make a capacity of 100 liters.
I love it. I absolutely love it, and here's why. Less than a megabyte to install, $150 for 100 liters. It's not expensive. It's not high in the megabytes, and it's going to bail you out if for some reason you don't pay attention to what you're doing and all of a sudden you're out of fuel out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
And you can lift it.
I mean, if you're starting out like I was saying before, like if you're starting out bare bone scratch, and like when that mod comes out from Mr. Hector, you can have like a bag of seed that you can like put individually like you would in real life. I mean, I could see that, but I mean, I personally wouldn't use it. But that's just me personally.
Yeah, like
Now,
I said, it's one of those where I can see the use case of if I forget to fill up my tank and I'm out in the middle of the map somewhere, instead of buying the fuel trailer that's like several grand or however much it is, buy this for $100, $150, and then just throw it in the back of a truck or in the do something. You could even walk it out to the field, and you'd be able to fill up and rescue your tractor. So one of those. I can see the use case, and for less than a megabyte, I would absolutely put that on. Absolutely.
oh yeah. Now this next one, it does pop up as an update, but this is actually technically it is an update, but it's a new mod. It's for console release because this came out on PC. This is extended forage harvester pickup. This is 84 kilograms. I absolutely love this mod because now you can actually pick up hay and straw and like different kinds of straw when it comes down to it.
So yeah, I'm right there with you. This is a mod that I'm shocked that we need to have personally. Now, there might be something I'm just completely missing, so it's one of those where correct me if I'm wrong, but being able to pick up hay and straw with this, like, why wouldn't the base vehicles be able to do that kind of thing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, the forage harvester is a chopper. It sits there and pulverizes everything that goes through it, kind of thing. So maybe that's the reason why, is that once you put the hay through, it's just going to chop it all the bits. Once you put the straw through, it's just going to chop it all the bits, and it's not real, not realistic kind of thing. To where grass and stuff, you're going to chop it all the bits by mowing it, kind of thing. So it is what it is.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't understand why this wouldn't be a base game kind of function per se, but I'm glad it's here. And for not even a megabyte, for 84
Right.
kilobytes, I mean, yeah, install this all day, every day.
Yeah, the best part is it's like one of those background ones. So it just pops up in your forage harvester headers. Like it doesn't actually like there's no separate mods, which I absolutely love.
Exactly.
Let's see. Next week we South Brazilian Silos package. This is by GNFS. This is gonna be 15.58 megabytes to download, and you got two of them. You got small silo and a medium silo. So you're small, it's gonna be $95,000. Your daily upkeep is $120. Capacity is 200,000 liters. And then for your mediums, you have a price tag of $150,000. Your daily upkeep is 120, and your capacity is 600,000 liters.
So I absolutely love this. I really, really do. But, and it's a big but, I wish that it was kind of more universal, if that makes sense. Like, this being a Brazilian silo, it's very much got that style of being in Brazil, which makes sense, obviously.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's not really going to fit into a lot of other places. You can't just plop this down in the middle of Riverbend Springs and be like, oh yeah, this is going to logically fit where I'm putting it, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's one of those where if you don't mind it standing out, then the megabytes to install this is less than 16 megabytes to install, and you've got a 200,000 liter capacity and a 600,000 liter capacity, and the most expensive one is $150,000. So all in all, that's a really kind of dirt cheap kind of investment for that kind of a system. And I mean, you get a ton of detail. You get a cavernous kind of storage area with some under storage as well, so you can park your trailers and stuff. It's just a unique looking model and a unique looking mod. So all in all, yeah, I absolutely love it. I love how it's got the kind of separate indoor chamber to be able to load into, and the separate outdoor spout to take out of. All in all, I think it's a brilliant mod.
Right. Next one's gonna be Hall Workshop. This is by 750 Ti Modding. It's 16.68 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $35,000 and a daily upkeep of 20. I mean, me personally, I can see this more on like a Polish map or like Sri than I can anywhere else.
It's definitely got that kind of Eastern European vibe. I could definitely see that, and yeah, it's. I definitely agree with you that it would definitely fit in like a Sri Lanka or some kind of like Eastern European map style. But it does look very highly detailed. I do like the
Mhm.
way it looks, and even with the kind of multicolored roof and all that stuff, I do like it. And I mean, 17 megabytes to install, it's a bit much, but 35 grand to buy is not that bad. So it's kind of a push for me when it's all kind of said and done.
Yeah, also, another big thing that I always look at when I with this kind of stuff is what's the functionality. So for this one, you can only repair and customize. There's no repaint or sell.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching that too. Um, Next one is me buildings package. This is by Prismec 23433. This is gonna be 57.71 megabytes to download. So you have um, buildings package for small farm shed. It's gonna be $10,500 daily upkeep 10. And they got garage with workshop. It's gonna be $22,500 daily upkeep is 12. They have cow barn with the possibility of breeding 20 cattle. Um, Price tag $40,000 daily upkeep 30. And then you have a house with sleeping and wardrobe function. $45,000 daily upkeep is 40. My biggest thing, I mean, these look absolutely fantastic. And Mr. Silly P's mod review when he did this was absolutely hilarious because if you look at the house, if you have your markers on, it actually shows like markers outside the door. He walks up, he goes, "Oh look, somebody put markers here," especially for someone who's dumb as I am when it comes down to mods. Um,
Mr.
but,
CLP always appreciates when a modder will put
yeah,
down those little hazard markers
yeah,
just so it makes it easier for him to find the lights and stuff.
yeah, oh yeah. Um, It is very highly detailed. I am going to put that right now. All these mods, you can see where it goes. The workshop is repair and customize, no repaint or sell. It's very tight inside the one building, which is in the first two screenshots. This is actually I believe your house. I believe, um, which you can go inside. So make sure I'm actually saying that right. No, it's not. Sorry, that's just your workshop. There's a little area inside, and then you got to go into a separate room, which is where your thing is. Blah blah blah. The cow barn. That cow barn, like Mystery Sealy P had. Oh, it was a small tractor, and it was. Oh, I forgot which one it was. It was a Lindner. That thing barely fit in there with, and he had to have the smallest K branded feed mixer
Yep.
because nothing else would fit because it's so low and so narrow. The house you can't even go inside, and the shed, I mean, it's not very big. So that's my
So
personal take on it.
So this is actually the pack that's used on the Palenque map.
Yeah.
If you look at the final screenshot here, that's actually the starting farm on Palenque by Bartson V3. So I mean, yeah, it's small. It's a very small farm and small buildings, but they're very highly detailed. Now, because they're almost 60 megabytes to install, I would never install this because it's way too big for me. Now the prices, they're tempting. The prices are really good. But at the end of the day, you can see where those megabytes are coming from. It's very highly detailed. I love the fact that you can literally like walk up to the doors because the majority of them are wooden doors with like actual locks,
Mm-hmm.
like a hook lock on them, and the hook lock like gets taken off when you open the door and just swings open and all that stuff. It just
Yeah.
looks fantastic. So you see where all that detail comes from, and I love that. But the problem is that that file size
Yeah.
absolutely is a killer for me. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't really care about file size, if you're on PC, then I would say absolutely download this all day, all night. Console players, buyer beware, because this is going to be a big chunk for what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And funny story, in the map tour there, looking at this last photo here, you can see this building off to the right-hand side. So the one that's in the background, that's the cow barn. The one that's kind of in the foreground off to the right, I'm going to... Ooh, sorry about that. I had to sneeze and hit the mute button really fast.
You're good.
But the building in the foreground off to the right-hand side on the screenshot here, that's just a storage barn. Well, the smallest trailer that we have in base game is the Salac. No, I'm sorry. They use the Farm Tech. But the smallest one is the Salac. That one might fit comfortably. The Farm Tech does not fit. And what's funny is it's butted right up against the back wall, and even with it butted right up against the back wall, the tongue of the trailer actually pokes through the door. That's how completely incapable it is of fitting in there. That should tell you just how small these buildings are.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Oh, I love this other one. So this is going to be the buildable feedlock pack. This is by Schultz Modding. It is 3.11 megabytes to download. The price is $25,000. Daily upkeep 50. Capacity 1,000 cows. And you can also extend the pasture out. There's 2 gates built in. You do have a tire tank, which is $250. It's just decoration. Looks great though. You have a milk storage, which comes with it, unlike the 22 version. It's $500, capacity 1 million liters. Slurry storage, $500, capacity. Is that 10 million? That's 10 million.
10 million, yep.
And then the open heap, which is for your manure, $500 capacity. It's at 4 million liters. This, which he did state there is more coming in a later update. He says right there, more decorations coming in a later update. This beats 22's version by a long shot.
Yeah, so this is absolutely fantastic. Less than 4 megabytes to install, and you get a cow pasture with 1,000 cow capacity, just base, being able to extend it, aside. I mean, 25 grand to purchase and 1,000 cow capacity. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. So it's one of those, milk storage, like we said, was what, 10 million liters. Slurry storage was
1 million.
1 million liters. The slurry storage is 10 million. These are huge capacities, and being able to kind of just make these little, modular kind of builds. Yeah, I'm all about this. This is fantastic.
I actually have this on my Frankenmuth map, which I did on my Xbox, and the build came out fantastic. I was actually able to, because you know how some pens, it's like, oh no, like the area is restricted, you can't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
The open heap, or anything that has to do with that, you can actually toggle free mode, and I placed a manure heap right inside there. So you can actually edit everything that's in there. The only thing you can't do is put trees and stuff in.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Let's see. The next one is going to be the Lizard Silo Pack. This is by Modding Association Katsu. This is going to be 23.92 megabytes to download. You have price range between $10,000 to $71,500. Your daily upkeep is $50, and your capacity is between 6,000 and 43,000 liters.
So nearly 24 megabytes to install, and yeah, you get a whole bunch of range. You get $10,000 to $71,000. You get 6,000 liters to 43,000 liters. All in all, if you're looking for a small silo system, for your farm, looks like it's going to take up a very small footprint, then this might be a good one for you as an individual. Me personally, that file size is hard to get around, and it's just I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't really speak to me. This is more of kind of a personal hang up, not necessarily the modders issue or anything like that. So it's just one of those that, for me personally, between the file size being just a bit more than what I'm comfortable with and the kind of product that we have here, I'm going to be a pass.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the pneumatic conveyor for grain silos. This is by Peisel. It's going to be 15.04 megabytes to download. Man, there is a lot to this. So your price tag is going to be $10,000. So you got 10,000, 10,200, and 10,400. Capacity is 35,000 liters. But you also have silo extensions. So you literally just have like a little like corner piece, or you have like a pipe that you just place right next to it. And it's a silo extension. So you got the pipe, which is $70, capacity 5,000 liters. Then you got the corner piece, which is $70 and capacity 5,000 liters. And all it literally is just like the corner piece or a pipe piece.
So for 15 megabytes, for all intents and purposes, I mean, I actually really liked this one. I was saying, the other one didn't speak to me. This one does. I love when a map or when a modder can take something and kind of give it dual purpose. So if you've got like a building that is not enterable or is just not really of use, but you don't necessarily want to get rid of it because of the aesthetics, this is a perfect way to utilize that building to make it something else. And you can see how it kind of uncouples and breaks down and whatnot. So you got all these kind of like visual appeals to it, which is really, really cool. It's got the extensions so you can build it up and all that stuff. So it's just one of those, it's only 5,000 liters. Or no, that's the extension. 35,000 liters for the main body of it and 5,000 liters per extension. It's one of those where, I mean, at the end of the day, I do like this. I think that this is really slick, and it has a kind of, a hidden trick up its sleeve to make a building that's not usable usable.
Right. Well, like 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Bunker Silo Pack. This is by Mopel. This is going to be 29.12 megabytes to download. I mean, I'm not going to list off all the prices, as you clearly can see. But yeah, you have like all different kind of decorations. You have different silo pits. So I mean, just I guess just pick and choose what you want. And these are, it says that they're movable, but the only way you can actually move the tires and the bags is by a front loader or something along those lines, because you can't actually pick them up by hand. It gives you the option, but you can't.
So I mean, 30 megabytes to install for decorations. Like I was saying earlier, I don't do enough silage pit work to make this worth it. So for me, it would be a hard pass just because I'm not using silage pits that often, and I'm certainly not using them often enough to where I want to make them look pretty. So 30 megabytes to install, just going to be a pass for me.
Well, yeah, 100%. Nothing will ever turn me away from that bunker silo set that came out. Well, that's it was like that really long one. It was by Hellraiser, I think it was. Yep. And you customize it to have like the grate at the end.
Yep.
Like the drainage, and it
with the collisions.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Now, I'll be honest with you. One mod that I would love to see come back to FS25, we had in FS22, was that giant silage pit that had the kind of drawbridge over top that you could push a button and it would lower down the bridge, and you could drive over top of it, dump into the silage pit from over top of it, and then drive off and kind of do your thing. That one, I think, was an absolutely brilliant mod, and would love to see that come back.
Oh yeah, 100. I agree, 100%. I love this next one. This is like one of my favorite dairies, actually. So this is the Tyrolean dairy. This is by Trilary Hemdroid modding. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. I deeply apologize for that. This would be 47.29 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $230,000. Your daily upkeep of $55. Now, yes, the megabyte storage is huge, but you can go inside of it, and like the level of detail that's on it is ridiculous.
So, I'm not a huge fan of this one. The reason being is that, yes, the megabytes storage, that's high. 48 megabytes to install. It's great that you can go inside of it. I do like that. $230,000 to buy this, and if I remember right, if this is set up similar to 22, which I haven't confirmed this for 25, but if it's similar to 22, it was significantly slower than a dairy that was, of similar price. So this is one where I saw pop up several times on several maps on 22. I'm presuming that this is the same, model, kind of thing. And if it is, then I would be worried that it was just a bit slower for the price. So if it's slower for the price, then I'm not a huge fan of it, including the megabytes that it takes to install. But also to kind of reel that back, the price versus the speed. So it just all depends. I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks great. I absolutely love it. Next one's going to be the flower production. This is by AgriBusiness. This is going to be 18.28 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $31,000, and you have a daily upkeep of $30 a day.
Love it.
Now, you could get pig food out of it.
Yes, and that's why I love it. I love this one. Not only does it look really, really good, you've got that old weathering on the bricks and on the door. You've got the nice just brickwork that just looks fantastic. I love the stenciling on the side of the silos and stuff, and on the side of the building with the windmill and all that. I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful model, and less than 19 megabytes to install, and $31,000 to buy it. 31 grand. Right. So if this runs anywhere similar to like one that you can buy for your starting farm or whatever, like the small unit, if it runs like that, fine. You get pig food out of it. And pig food, if you have a sell-all, you can make good money selling pig food. Especially if this is a byproduct. So if I remember correctly, and I can actually, actually no, I can't. If I remember correctly, it basically utilized the entire product. So it's not like you're putting in, let's say 1 liter of wheat and getting a portion of that out, kind of thing as your flour. You're getting 1 liter of wheat in, and let's say half a liter of flour and half a liter of pig food. Like you're getting that 1-to-1 ratio.
Oh yeah. Plus I like how it actually pop, like when the pals pop out, it's actually in the upper part instead of like the lower part. So you actually have to like it looks like an actual loading dock. Like it reminds me of like an old, I don't want to say Western, like an old style kind of.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Let's see here. We have the Industrial Bakery. This is going to be by Dogface. I absolutely love that name for that modder. I don't know why. It's just Dogface. Sounds like a wrestler, It's going to be 9.21 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $90,000. So he does say that this is 5 times faster than the base game mode.
So I'm going to pull a Mr. Sealy P here for just a second and kind of hone in on one thing in particular that has nothing to do with anything I've talked about up until this point. Artisanal. It's artisanal. If people don't understand what I'm talking about, Mr. Sealy P really hones in on anybody who puts the artisanal on their models, or just the kind of whole concept of artisanal, whatever. It's quite hilarious. But all joking aside, I mean, this is nice. Less than 10 megabytes to install, 90 grand to purchase, and it's 5 times faster. I mean, not that much in download. not that much in price. You figure the base game grain mill is like $300,000 or some ridiculous price. I'm trying to find it right now. That's the bakery grain mill, $288,000. So you're talking this thing here is, you know, what, 3 times less than what the base game is, and it's 5 times faster. I mean, where can you go wrong?
Right. 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 100%. 100%. Let's see here. So moving on to the second page. Let's see here. Jonah says, "You love everything." LOL. Well, that's not entirely true. There's actually some mods that I don't really like.
Are we moving on to the next page, or we got to talk about the old shed pack?
That is on the next page.
Is it? Oh, it's on the same page for me.
Oh, well, it's on the next page for me. Did you want to catch up with your chat real quick?
That would be fantastic. So, we've got Rail Fanny. Nope, I read that already. Wrench Monkey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, hey, BDD and everyone. Liz Hunter says, hi. Liz, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Ken, how's it going? Hope you're having a great one so far. What up, people? Benji says, good evening, everyone. How you doing, Benji? Hope you're having a great one as well. Ken says, hey there to Benji. Benji says, hey to Ken. Ken says, also, hey to Jonah, Wrench Monkey, and Liz Hunter. Ken also says, hey to Brady. And also says, good to see you guys in here, LOL. Dean Powell says, hey there, BDD Gaming. Hey there, Dean. How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And that appears to be everything.
Now, well, because of course, I have a triple monitor setup on, so I got the mods in front of me. I got Streamlabs on the left side of me, and then right in the middle, I have my other page with Facebook and everything else up. But I also have in a different tab your stream going, so I'm watching that too. So you pressed on crossplay, so I just have mods up, so that's why it's a little bit different.
I gotcha.
Let's see here. So the old shed pack. This is by Scenic. It's going to be 9.10 megabytes to download. So your first shed's going to be $15,000. Your second shed's going to be $17,500. Daily maintenance is $10 a day.
I love it. I absolutely love this. The look of it, the megabyte size is less than 10. The price is less than less than 20 grand for any of them, really. But what I love about this the most is if you look at the kind of weathering that's inside those bricks, the kind of blackish marks almost looks like mold, like growing in the brick and mortar kind of thing. I mean, it's just highly, highly detailed. There's lighting in there, which is really nice. I'm trying to see, you can see it way better in this photo here in the second screen shot there. Yeah. You can see those darker kind of specks into the mortar, which is in between each of the bricks. And it just looks like it's molded and just weathered and really kind of just been there for a long time. It looks great. Looks absolutely fantastic. The modder did a fantastic job with this. This would be one that if I had a small build or a very small kind of area I wanted to add a shed to, I would install this every day.
Oh, it does look absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's something I want to install. I mean, if I was on Sri or something, then maybe. Or like a European map, but I wouldn't have it on an American map. So your next one's going to be, this is supposed to be 2 words, not one. Wayne Station. This is by Holden, HB Modding, Farmer MV, and Bored Farmer. You bored? Is that what your name is supposed to be? You're bored. It's gonna be 2.72 megabytes to download, so not bad there. It's price tag is gonna be $8,000. Daily upkeep of $20 a day. I absolutely love this in 22, and I love it now because you can make it so basically you come in and weigh yourself, pull out, you come back and weigh yourself like you would do. But you have this other entrance right here, just in case you're just coming to work or something, or just leave.
So it's a nice little piece of decoration. For less than 3 megabytes to install, that's not a bad file size. $8,000, that's a great price, especially considering the other way
Oh,
stations that we have available to us base game are $64,000 and $110,000. I mean, you're
well,
saving a ton of cash just by installing this. Yeah, it's a good looking model, and yeah, I would install this. It's not something that I would personally use
right.
for one of my builds or anything like that, but I could see the appeal of this one, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. The next one's gonna be the Wayne House. Why? There's no house. uh, this is by uh, uh, Tarji 007. What, you think you're James Bond now?
Dun, dun,
Um,
dun, 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 dun. Oh, no, wait, that's Mission Impossible.
yeah. uh, wrong movie.
Wrong!
So your size is gonna be 0.35 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $40,000, daily upkeep of $15 a day. I mean, it's not bad. It does look very, very good. Don't get me wrong. Um, I mean, it's not a house though.
I mean, again, kind of copy and paste what I said for the previous one to this one, but this one has a smaller megabyte size of 0.35, so very small. $40,000. It's about $24,000 cheaper than the base game way station that we have available to us. So again, if a way station is what you're looking for, this would be a good alternative and would be worth the space in my opinion. So yeah, I would install this.
Oh, and what does this guy actually think he's 007? Or you think you're better? So I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. Um, yeah. So the next one's gonna be the Honey Palette Rack. This is by I don't even know how to pronounce this. Yeah, Kia Burrito. I think that's how you pronounce. Sorry, I butchered that name. It's gonna be 2.56 megabytes to download. So you have old wood, which is $100, and new wood, which is $300. Capacity is 6 pallets.
I love this. I absolutely love it. For less than 3 megabytes, you can have a storage capacity of 6 whole pallets, to where the kind of what base game I think is it one
Two,
pallet or is it two? So you get
two.
3 times the storage of your honey than base game kind of capacities there, and it's $300 for the new version or 100 for the old. So it's a nice kind of you can either get a cheaper version than base game or you can get $100 more expensive version. But it just looks so good. I mean, it just looks like something that somebody just kind of put together, on the fly as a more utilitarian kind of look to it. And me personally, I absolutely love that. And if I were to go with either one of these, I'd go with the old one, the old wood look. I
Mm-hmm.
just think that kind of darker, darker kind of
Yeah.
wood look just looks so good.
Yeah, and then if you're doing like a role play or something like later on, it's like you could replace it with the other one and say you repainted it. You know.
Yep.
Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Polish fertilizer tank. This is by go figure JMZ. um, uh, Giants must be loving him. The size is going to be 1.30 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of 6,000 liters. I mean, wow, $6,000. You have a capacity of 10,000 liters, and your daily upkeep is $5.
So less than 2 megabytes to install. It's not that bad whatsoever. 6 grand to have 10,000 liter liquid storage capacity for your fertilizer. I would install this every day.
My only big complaint about this, and I know Mr. Silly P had a complaint about this, and so did Looney Farm Guy. This thing fills so slow.
Oh, does it really?
So slow. I'm
Yeah.
like,
So that'd be
I'm
annoying.
like, I'm like, I'm like, if this was a running contest, I'm a fat guy and I could run faster than this thing is filling up. I'm just, just,
And
I'm
then if
just
we
saying.
if we take a look at also kind of base game kind of stuff as well, just real quick, the cheapest starting liquid fertilizer tank that we have available to us is $46,500. So for $6,000 versus 46, I mean, yeah, the other one has a storage capacity of 173,000 liters, so you're getting a significantly higher liquid storage capacity. But it's one of those. Do you want to spend the 46,500 and get the you get significantly more storage per liter, per dollar, I should say, but I mean, are you really going to store 173,000 liters of liquid fertilizer at one time? I mean, I've never done that. I'm not saying nobody has. I'm just,
Not me. Oh, let's see here. Well, the next one's going to be farmhouses. This is by Krazek. This is going to be 13.64 megabytes to download. So your house number 1 is $50,000. Your house number 2 is $70,000. And your house 3 is $80,000. Okay, I have 2 things to say about this. Number 1,
I know what they are.
Fantastic. They look fantastic. Actually, no, I was today. Number 2, they look fantastic. Number 1, you can't go inside.
So, for 14 megabytes, though, I mean, here's the thing. I can live without being able to go into a building if and only if the megabyte size is significantly reduced enough to where it's not going to be an inconvenience to have it as a kind of background kind of thing. Because you're right, it looks fantastic. I love that kind of old look building. It looks like it's, again, that brick and mortar where the mortar is like kind of, almost seeping out kind of thing. I think that looks fantastic. And then you got the 2 newer looks to it. Yeah, there's just so many things that you can do with this, and it's nice. At the end of the day, it's nice. And for less than 14 megabytes to install, and for the most expensive one is $80,000, it's not that bad.
No, but I mean, it's FS25 people. I mean, we should be making houses with interiors. Come on. Oh, here we go. So from now on, what I'm going to do is for maps are the only thing I'm going to announce the star rating for. Other than that, I'm not going to. So you get the Horse Aggravation Pack. This is by Giant Software. It's got a 2.7 star rating from 370 people.
1.3.
1.3. It's going to be 650.84 megabytes to download.
For those that don't understand the 1.3 reference there, go back to the last AgriBusiness Tonight, go back to last week's episode, and rewatch the kind of rant that I had. I was a wee bit testy, we can say, when it came to that episode. I'm not gonna dive too deep into that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one falls into that 1.3 category that we pre-established, and 700 megabytes. I mean, it's 650.84. It's 700 megabytes, but you look at this map and the fields are just massive. They're huge fields.
Especially the middle one.
What's that?
Especially the middle one.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand a map. All right. Let me back up. 700 megabytes. That's the size of Peligny.
Mm-hmm.
Peligny is a gorgeous map. It's got tons of detail in it, and is just drop dead gorgeous. This is 700 megabytes. It's almost the same file size, but I mean, there's only a few places where the details can really come into effect. I mean, in this map, you've got basically the northeast corner, which is the whole kind of cooperative kind of area, the business area for their testing grounds. You got the village off to the west and northwest, and you've got kind of the kind of the business industrial area down in the southwest. Other than that, it's fields. It's fields with a couple of bits of forestry here and there. Where is this coming from? Where is that size coming from?
Giants. But they actually released this map because of the DLC coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, which, and if it were me, I'm just gonna move on to the next mod. Oh, okay. Let's see here. And
Well,
that's a horrible rating. 2.7.
It was 2.7. I think I gave it a 2 on my tour. I'm actually going to look at it just really quick. Yeah, I gave it a 2. Like I said, it's one of those maps that's just, it's incredibly flat. There's not a lot going on it. And the only parts that have any sort of kind of undulation going on are like the forestry bits or the places where like you're not doing a majority of the work. So it's really just, you're staring off into the abyss of fields kind of thing. So it's just, it's not a map for me. It would be a very good map for the most part for people who are just learning the game, but even that is a real stretch. The reason I say that is because of the kind of the way that the fields are all kind of laid out. You know, they're not squared off, they're not, you know, centered or anything like that. So it's just like, even that is kind of a stretch in my opinion. So I don't know. I just don't know. At the end of the day, 1.3.
1.3. No, it's 1.3.2. Let's see here. So we got a Massey Ferguson Series 6S. This is also by Giant Software. This is 25.71 megabytes to download. You have a price tag between $137,500 to $150,500. You have one power, 150 horsepower.
So when it comes to tractors, any tractor, I tried my best to look for those tractors that are under the 25 megabyte to install. This one is just barely over that. So it's just one of those where, personally, I like it. It looks good. It's a great model. I mean, we've got things that are in this kind of power band, though. So it's one of those where I don't really see the use of it, other than if you're a big-time Massey fan. 150 horsepower. I mean, we've got the Fendt 500 that does between 131 and 171. We got the Lidner, which does 136. We got the Same that does 126 to 143. I mean, and all of those are cheaper. All of them, with the exception of the Fendt. The Fendt starts out at 152. This starts at 137. You got the Deutz-Fahr 6C. That one's 126 to 143. Again, that's 95,000. And you got the Kloss 550. That's 145 to 165, and that starts out at 153. So again, it's just, you've got plenty of options already. And unless you're a Massey fan, I mean, I just kind of pass on this one.
Oh yeah. Well, besides that too, I mean, if you're a big Massey fan, like let's just say if you're on Oak Bridge Farms now, and it's like you have nothing but Massey Ferguson. So you got the 5S, you got the 7S, the 8S, and the 9S. Now you got the 6S. You get the full lineup.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I love this next one. Oh, dude, you have no idea how happy I was when this came out. So this is going to be the Kloss Scorpion 1033. This is by Giant Software. This is going to be 16.48 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $135,000, and you have a horsepower of 142.
So this one here, I love the look of it. And it's one of those where I think that this one has its place to be downloaded. If you take a look at the kind of base game comparables, about the closest thing we have is the Manitou at 139,000. This is 135, so this is a little bit cheaper. The Manitou has 141 horsepower. This has 142 horsepower, so it's 1 horsepower better. 17 megabytes to install, though, so it's one of those. It's got a little bit cheaper, a little bit more power. Is it worth that 17 megs?
Yes.
Yeah, I would probably go ahead and download this. Just one, because we could then have a Kloss as a kind of in the brand kind of thing
Oh,
in the telehandler section, because really we don't have that one in base game. But no, I think this is kind of a nice kind of starting telehandler.
uh-huh. 100%. I mean, especially if you love Kloss like I do.
Yep.
You know, let's see. The next one's going to be the Kloss Tryon 1914. This is by Giant Software. This is going to be 24.39 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $248,500, and you have a horsepower of 224. I absolutely love this. I was very happy when this came out.
So almost 25 megabytes to install. So that's kind of up there. Let's see. Taking a look at the base game stuff, we got the Volvo L120H. Power is 276 and price is 252. So 252,000. So the price for the Kloss here is 248.5. That's cheaper than the Volvo. Power for the Kloss is 224 compared to the 276. So really, it's one of those where I'd probably pass on this, because the megabytes it's up there, but it's not that bad. Again, when I look for tractors and things like that, less than 25 is what I kind of aim for. This one would fit in that ballpark, but the price that you're paying for the 224, you might as well pay the extra $4,000, $3,500, get the Volvo, and you have an extra 200, let's see, 240, about 40, 50 horsepower, give or take.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I absolutely love that one too. I know. I mean, if you're running nothing but a Kloss farm, then yeah, you know.
And as we always say, if brands are your thing, then ignore what we previously said. If it's one of those where you're just like, hey, BDD, you're way off base, I think you're nuts, that's fine too.
But I absolutely love Kloss, so I installed the 3. So you got that, the telling of this one, and the next one we're going to talk about. This is the Kloss Torian 956 sinus infection. We check Giant Software. It's going to be 25.03 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $154,000 and a horsepower of 106.
So take everything that I said for the previous one, ignore it for this one. Ignore it, because again, roughly around the same megabyte size, 25 megs, 154 to purchase, 154,000, and 106 horsepower. There is no in-game comparable. This would actually be a perfect starting wheel loader for somebody. It's about 40 grand cheaper than the base game GCB, and it's lower in the horsepower. So it's one of those, it would be a better option for those who are trying to get the wheel loader but don't want to spend almost 200 grand to get it.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Mac Pinnacle 6x4. This is also by Giant Software. This is going to be 21.92 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $93,500, and you have a horsepower of 425. And nothing's loading.
So for this one here, I mean, we basically have this in base game. So I don't understand. Oh no, this is the Pinnacle. I'm looking at the Anthem. Yeah. So I mean, the Anthem that we have in base game. Yeah, it had a issue where it didn't load either. The Anthem base game is 93.5. This is 93.5. 425 horsepower to start out for the Pinnacle. 425 for the Anthem. I mean, if you want to have a the kind of more boxy looking Mac, which it does look good. I do like that kind of style as opposed to the Anthem, which is kind of more rounded. Then yeah, you can install this and take up an extra 22 megs. But I mean, personally, I'll just stick with the Anthem.
Or you can stick with the AKA Peterbilt, which is way better.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I did install this because I really do like it a lot, and I used it a lot in 22, so it has a place for me. That's why I have it installed. The next one is going to be the Low King Distinction Super B. This is also by Giant Software. This will be 23.99 megabytes to download, basically 24. Why couldn't you just make it 24 megabytes? And it's going to be you have a price tag of $138,500, and you have a capacity of 76,600 liters.
So just like the last one, this one makes no sense to me whatsoever. So this is the Load King Distinction Super B. We have the Load King Prestige Super B. The Prestige is, well, actually, let me read this off again. The Distinction Super B is $138,500 to buy. It's a 75,600 liters capacity. The Load King Prestige base game, $110,000. So you're talking over 20 grand cheaper, and the fill limit is 75,600. It's the same size for like 30 grand cheaper. Like, what's the point of this one?
Because it was base game and they wanted to bring it as a mod.
Well, no, and I'm not saying what's the point of this one from the perspective of Giants. I'm saying from the perspective of the equipment that we already have available to us. It's the same style of dump trailer. It's the same kind of mechanics and stuff. It's the same size. This is just going to require you to take up 24 megabytes of space. For what?
Right. I mean, if you're on PC, you go with me. Well, like I am. Like I have it on PC, but not my Xbox.
Oh yeah, and again, if you're on this is, I'm saying everything from the perspective of a console player. So it's one of those where if you're on PC, everything I'm saying up to this point for you is moot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I did not grab that on console. So to be okay, I'm gonna be up frank with you. I think the Prestige, the one we have base game, looks way better than that one, if you ask me.
I agree.
But let's see here. Next one. Oh, I installed this one real fast. This one has a place in my heart as well. This is the Kong Sky Mower Pack. This is by Giant Software. This will be 22.74 megabytes to download. So your front mower, which is the GXF 3605P, is you have a price tag of $15,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 95, working with 3.5 meters. And then you have the GXT 13005P. This is the rear mower. This is going to be a price tag of $149,500. You have a horsepower requirement of 200 and a working width of 12.30 meters.
So there's really no comparables for this one. This is kind of a league of its own. And what I mean by that is the biggest kind of attachable mower that we have is the Samaz. The Samaz front mower and rear deck mower, like the distinctions really don't matter except for the rear. The rear is 9.4 meters. This is 12.3. The rear deck mower for the Samaz is 70,500. This is a rear deck of 149,500. So this is going to be one of those, like, do you want a bigger mower or do you not want a bigger mower? If so, download it. If not, then it's not worth it at that point. You'd have to either upgrade to the Krone Big M, which is 468,000. This is going to be that kind of intermediate, one of those that's going to be intermediate, that's attachable to your tractors. Now, again, the kind of base power consumption for the Samaz, the rear deck's 220 and the front deck is 110. This is 95 and 200, so it's actually less to run this equipment than it is the Samaz base game. All in all, for less than 25 megabytes for this specific set of equipment, I'd install this. Absolutely.
And it looks fantastic, especially coming from Giants.
Yep.
Let's see here. So the next one, I gotta open this up. It's gonna be the Hardy Navigator 4000 Delta Force. I love that name, Delta Force.
Reminds me of Larry the Cable Guy. Delta Farce.
Delta Farce. What was his name? Kevin something. He played as a sergeant. He was my personal favorite. Hey, I like you. I'll pull up a chair. I'm not gonna finish the rest of that, but oh, it's so great. Okay, let's see. This could be 28.69. Nice megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $57,000. You have a working speed capacity of 4,000 liters.
So this one we have as a closest comparable, the Hardy Aeon 5200 Delta Force. And this is going to be kind of the step down from the one that we have in base game. The prices, the Navigator here is 57,000, the Aeon is 74,000. The capacity is 4,000 for the Navigator, the Aeon is 5,200. So this is like the step below the base game one that we have. But the megabytes, it's 29 megabytes to install. Do you want to install that 29 megabytes for a step like in between the Hardy Mega 1200 front and rear tank, or have the kind of trail behind version that's a little bit cheaper, a little bit less capacity? Me personally, I'll just wait. I'll just wait until I get the 20 extra grand to get the bigger, storage capacity and the bigger boom.
Yeah, we're missing that too. The self-propelled one.
Yep.
Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Farmat Phantom 1250 Pro. This is also by Giant Software. What's so phantom about it? Let's see. This is going to be 29.07 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $125,500. You have a horsepower requirement of 550. And you're working with 12.25 meters.
All right. So this one is... this is going to be the tale of two stories here. So 30 megabytes to install. That's a ton for a cultivator, in my opinion. That's a lot. Base game closest comparable is the Kinsey MacTill 412. That's the closest one we have in working width. This has a working width of 12.25. The Kinsey has a 12 meter, so the Farmet is a bit bigger. The prices, the Kinsey 137,000, this is 125,500. So the Farmet is bigger and less expensive. Horsepower requirement, the Farmet requires 550, which is a lot. Kinsey requires 615.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive, the Kinsey, more power required, and less working with. So this is really, really tough for me because 30 megabytes, that's a lot for a cultivator.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could install it for that file size and getting those kind of differences. It's not a big enough difference for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to install it for 30 megabytes.
Unless if you're like a Farmet fan, then yeah.
Exactly.
Now this next one, I'm just going to go over as a new mod because it is a new mod. It had an update literally the exact same day. But this is the class Zerion 4200 to 5000. This is by Hans. It is 54.70 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of, or a starting price tag of $495,610. You have a horsepower range between 420 and 530. And then the changelog 1.0.0.1 is fix the color configuration. I absolutely love this. I think it's way better than the Giant Software version because you have more options, and plus you can open up doors, stuff like that.
So I've personally never been a big enough fan of opening up doors and opening up windows and things like that to be able to justify the megabyte size. So 55 megabytes to install this. That's huge for a console, for a tractor, for one single tractor. Yeah, you get all these kind of bells and whistles. You get tracks, you get color options, you get, you get doors opening and all this kind of stuff. That's great. That's fantastic. It looks amazing. I just can't get behind the 55 megs to install it. Even though, like I said, it looks amazing. It really, really does. And the only other problem I see with it is the price. 420 power for this particular tractor for almost $500,000 base price. We have the Fendt 1000 Vario, which is 396 base horsepower. So you're talking about 24. Is that 24 horses less? And it's $100,000 less expensive.
I agree 100%, and I think I think the megabyte storage is a bit absurd on it. Yes, but being a Kloss fan, I'm a fan of Kloss, so of course I'm going to have it. But for someone who's not a big fan of Kloss, and that I can understand.
Well, and the one thing that it does look like it has is that kind of saddle fifth wheel attachment, and I could be wrong about that. It just looks like it might be there based on some of the screenshots I'm seeing, which is again a nice. Yeah, the little fifth wheel attachment.
It does.
It does. Okay, so that's a nice little party trick. I do like that as a kind of a thing that is available to this style of tractors, having that fifth wheel attachment. So that is nice. It is definitely enticing for the mod itself, not for 55 mags though.
Right. All right, time to move on to the next one, which I know you gave this one a low rating as well because I watched your video on it. Prairie Farm, Michigan by Taylor Farms. This has a 4-star rating by 268 people. This is 224.41 megabytes to download. This actually came out perfect timing for the next Ag Pack.
So this map here was just not made for me. It's just not. Nothing against the map whatsoever. Nothing against it whatsoever. It's got some nice little features. It looks good. The problem is that it's so wide open and it's so flat. There's just not a lot to be able to kind of keep your attention other than the work. And the style of maps that I look for, it doesn't even have to necessarily be, hilly or twisty or turny or anything like that. It's just got to be something more. And I just feel like this one misses out on it. Obviously, I'm in the minority because this has got 4-star rating and 268 people are, giving it that kind of a rating. I gave it a 2 on my tour. So I'm obviously in the minority, and that's fine. That's totally fine. People are gonna feel about it the way that they do. But me personally, it's just too wide open, too flat, and not enough to kind of keep my interest. So that's kind of how I felt about it.
I personally think that you like Michigan Farm better because you put a lot more detail into that map. But plus he has the iron ore facility in that, and that's because he has the railroad in it. I mean, not the railroad, the roller coaster and the pirate ship. So, and the way he put it in there looks fantastic. Like he actually put it and made it look like a small little theme park where people are actually walking through it.
Oh, no, that's cool. That definitely has my attention.
Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Husqvarna MZ54. This is by Agrotono. This is going to be 11.63 megabytes to download. I'm not going to read off all the prices here because there's just too much to read. But it's basically a zero-turn mower. If you like Husqvarna, then there you go.
I mean, for less than 12 megabytes to install for a little riding mower that you can uncouple the attachments and stuff like that, it's nice. It's definitely got, one of those, if you're doing like a role playing and you're wanting to, have like a lawn service or something like that, it definitely would be worth installing. But for me personally, not something that I'm going to put too much stock into. But I mean, megabytes, not bad, especially for what you're getting. You're getting multiple attachments for it. It's a nice little mod, but not one for me.
Oh yeah, I agree. Now, if it was a John Deere zero turn on, side mirror, no. Let's see. The last one on this page of mine is going to be the excavator attachments. This is by Kenny456. This will be 33.10 megabytes to download. Now, it is a huge file size, but the amount of stuff that you get in this.
So I actually really like this map, or this mod, this series of mods. Yeah, it's 33 megabytes to install, so it's up there, but the amount of things that you get for it is incredible. You get all sorts of buckets, you get arms, you get cutters, you get harvesters, you get wood harvesters. And the best part about it, in my opinion, is that you get to choose between multiple styles of attachments. So you get ones that'll dangle and ones that will be fixed. So to kind of give you an example of what I'm talking about here, let's see if I can find one here. Okay, so looking at this attachment here, this is just like a pair of vice grips that just like basically cleaves trees in half, kind of thing. That's what it's essentially a saw, but that's what it would function in real life. This is fixed. There's no kind of dangle or anything like that. And I'm trying to find one in the images, and it doesn't look like they got one that's going to be anything like that. So actually, no. In the last screenshot there at the case excavator that they have there, the bucket that's filling up the trailer, that's a dangle. So you can see how it's kind of facing straight down. And if you move your excavator around, it'll start to jiggle back and forth and dangle. So almost every single one of the attachments has a variant of fixed versus dangle. And yeah, I just absolutely love that. And on top of that, it makes the excavators just more usable. You've got so many different things that you can do with them. Now, I will say the unfortunate part is I did a little bit of testing with this because I've been kicking around the idea of moving to a new Let's Play map and starting a kind of different style of series. And I was testing this whole set out, and I ended up coming up with some kind of issue with the harvester headers themselves. And if I remember right, it had something to do with the tracking, the auto tracking. Just didn't work the way that I was anticipating it to work. The one thing I do like about this pack as well is it's got a attachment, like what's it called? It basically lets you couple to front loader tools and telehandler tools and wheel loader tools. Like it basically is a universal attachment that will let you attach to all the various style of tools that are available for your farmyard, kind of thing. So you could have a pallet fork that is used with your excavator. You can have the rock breaker. That's a skid steer tool only. You can use that on this as well. So it's one of those it's really kind of a nice little function for that particular thing. You can see it here in the fourth screenshot where it's got the dual bag lifter. That's the kind of attachment I'm talking about there.
Before we move on, because on my part, I'm on the next page. You want to catch up your chat real quick?
Sure. So let's see. Jonah says, gonna be a fun stream with Farmer Cop. I agree, Jonah. Looking forward to that. Ken says, Jonah, wait till BDD tells your dream of Farmer Cop. LOL. Oh no. Oh no. Ken also says, just kidding, Jonah. PA Plowboy, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, to be fair, we always have called the scale houses. Oh, okay. So he's basically saying the scales, I guess they're always called scale houses. Let's see. Benji says, good evening, PA Plowboy. PA Plowboy says, good evening, Charles. Taco Dig Groot. How's it going, Taco? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, good evening, folks. Also says, BDD, what is the Woznies tab you have there? So the Woznies tab I opened up because I was drawing comparisons to the map that Barson V3 had on 25 that just released here a couple of days ago. it was a very kind of similar style between the Wozniak's map in FS22 to the new one. I can't remember the name. It starts with a P. Yeah, that's the reason why I had it open. Let's see. Ken says FSG was testing that next system on the Horsch Agro Vacation map. Next at. And Ken says, darn autocorrect. And Taco says, yeah, you're right, BDD. Prairie Farms is a 2 at most. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that's it.
All right. Now, I absolutely love this one, only because the big header on it, and I think it's fantastic. So this is going to be the MacDon FD2 pack plus Demco trailer pack. This is by Hispano modding. Is 137.37 megabytes to download. Now, yes, it may seem like a lot, but you got all these different header trailers, plus you got the different headers. So you go from 13 meters, 14.5, 16, 17.4, and 19.2 meters. And the headers themselves, you can actually have, so they have a built-in dolly, basically.
Hard pass. Hard pass. Don't get me wrong. They look amazing. They absolutely look amazing. I love that the header trailer can be built in. Just like the what is called the flex draper headers that we have base game. I absolutely love that. And if this was something where I could pick and choose kind of a la carte, that I would be all on board with this. The fact that it's 140 megabytes to install, that's absolutely huge for this style of mod, and not one that I could even begin to think about touching. Even though I think it's a brilliant mod, brilliant model. Yeah, just one of those I would be a hard pass, unfortunately.
I personally love it, but that's just me.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, I love it too. I absolutely love it. I just cannot get past 140 megabytes. I just can't.
No, I hear you there. See, the next one's be the John Deere RD35F US. This is by Jolly Farms Modding. Love the name. It's going to be 13.27 megabytes to download. So you have a price tag of $119,500, working with 10.7 meters.
So this is the perfect example of what I was just talking about. This is absolutely perfect that this followed the previous one. 14 megabytes for one header. One. And if, like I said, if I could a la carte the last section, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. 120 grand for this particular header and 14 megabytes to install. If you're a John Deere fan and you're wanting something, of this kind of style, I mean, this is perfect for you. Yeah, I would install this. There's nothing that would make me like kind of cringe away from it or anything like that. And looking at the kind of base game comparables, this is 10.7 meters, so probably the closest thing we've got. Actually, okay, so base game, we have the John Deere RDF 35. I guess the difference is that this is the US version, and I guess base game is potentially an EU version, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking, I mean, if you're that
nitpicky,
yeah, nitpicky, cause it looks like the only real differences that I can see are those little runner bars that are like the little yellow runner bars that are right in front of the catch, the grab, the reel. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. That really looks to be the only huge difference that I'm seeing right off the top of my head. If I don't know if 14 megabytes is worth a couple of bars. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't install it. And it's actually about 15 grand more expensive for this particular mod as opposed to the base game one, which is $105,000. This is $119,500. So yeah, me personally, a couple of bars and 14 extra megabytes, I'll go without.
Yeah, right. I love John Deere, but I mean, I passed on console for this, but let's see here. So the next one, this is actually a new brand too. So this is the Pomat. Pomot UPR4. This is by JMZ. Oh, go figure. Very popular guy in farm sim. I'm waiting for it to load. Come on, really?
Yeah, you having the same issue as I am?
Yeah, let's see. Stop that. Reload.
Yeah, it's fighting me as well. Sorry, y'all. This technical difficulties on Giant's End. This isn't us.
Can't reach this page. What?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Giants, what
What?
did you do? What'd you do? Yeah, see? Yeah, the whole page is down. Well, in the meantime, do we want to look at news until we can get this to come back up?
Sure. All right. Let's see. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go around the news while we wait for that to load. Giants. No, yeah. So the very first bit of news, which I actually posted 10 hours ago, was news from ICUS. So basically, all what he says is that it says right here, swishable bottom trim. So you can just walk up to this button that shows right here in this one picture, and you can change the bottom trim.
Nice.
And this has already been sent off to Giants, which I think is fantastic. Yeah, and then we got updates and new mods for FS22. Let's see here from Pascal, which I can see is the next one on yours. So it says, and there it is. The Lizard OT 2000 is converted and sent to Giants.
Nice. No, that I've always liked the look of these trucks, and yeah, it's going to be a nice little welcome addition.
Mr. Sealy P died over this in FS22, so he's going to love it. Let's see. That's for FS22. For anyone playing FS22, yes, there you can go check out my page, but there were updates that came out, and there were also new mods that came out. There's a new map. So here, the next one, which I believe, this is next on yours. So from K-Series Modding, right now it's 90% done, but they're working on their Case IH STX Steiger series.
Steiger!
So it looks fantastic.
It looks so good. Steiger!
Yo, how big do you think that's going to be on megabyte storage?
Oh, don't harsh my mellow.
Oh, man. Let's see here. Moving on from that before BDD hangs up on this call. So we got, well, of course, we got the next pack preview plus Giants. This was a new blog from Giants. But the next one down, which I also see on your screen, is from JAHG Modding. This is a new partner. So this is a next partnership. This is Rolex Quality Farming. Really? Rolex? Would you steal a name from the watch?
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so there's going to be 3 different cultivators. So you got the 600, 400, and 300. 3 modeling is 100% done. Texturing is 100% done. Materials 100% done. Programming, it's in progress. And guess what? Besides JHG Modding, which does fantastic job, he's in collaboration with beloved JMZ. It looks fantastic.
It really does. Looking at it here, you see all the details from the pins and the bolts and all that stuff. I mean, you got all the hoses and the reels for the hydraulics. I mean, it just looks fantastic.
And it's coming from 2 fantabulous modders who put detail into all their mods. I know, you know what? And a new brand, Rolex, is always welcome.
So I wonder if it's like Lamborghini. You know, they make the supercars there, but they also make the farm tractors.
We don't have any Lamborghini base game. You notice that?
Yeah. We didn't have any last year either.
Yeah. Well, we had some mods, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm not going to go over this, but you got the last fact sheet Friday before release for the next set. I'm just going to skip over top of that. And I'm going to say it once again, this upcoming Tuesday, so 2 days from now, the next set DLC gets released. So the next one is going to be from Icus. Now this is that shed that said the switchable trim. This has been sent off the Giants, as you can see. This is that 19.2 meter header on the front of that.
That's cavernous.
Yeah,
Like
I know,
that
right?
that door opening is incredible. I mean, look at that. You could literally just leave your header attached and just wander in. I mean, not even just wander. You could just stroll in, just kind of with a strut. That's how big that door is. Holy cow!
I cannot wait for this to get released and see Mr. CP's video. Oh my gosh. So it's got that big double door in the front. It's got a little dude. So if you scroll over a couple pictures, that one right there, you see like in the front, like I'll go back one. Okay, right there. So you can stop right there. So so you have like the main front door. That's like a double door, and then you got the big, massive one on the side, and then you got the little man door. Like you can see the size comparison.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So let's see here. Yeah, little man door. Let's see your next one. Is the next one come custom modding on your page?
Yep. Lagoon.
This, oh, breathably thought that I was going to have an aneurysm when I saw this. Yeah, so it says, yes, we will have our own manure lagoon. A big change in the way that you play coming soon because it's up there, Valmetal. So we load it up here. This is absolutely fantastic because you can actually have it customizable. So
yeah, this looks incredible. Like I cannot wait for this to come out and be usable. I mean, just all the various different tools and whatnot. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a slurry pit. That's really all it is. But there's going to be all these kind of like little bells and whistles that are going to be attached with this that are going to make it more than that.
See, here's my big problem is because I reached out to Custom Modding and I asked, so is Giants going to make you put this into a one mod pack? So you have the slurry tankers, the Valmetal Max Track, the pump, and the lagoon all in one pack, because just that Duramax pack by itself, not Duramax, the Max Track, that by itself in FS22 was almost 200 megabytes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll install it because I absolutely love it, but it's gonna be massive if they make them do that. So, here, so I got update new mods.
It looks like the Giants site's back up.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Refresh. Yay, you didn't crash on me. Okay, so all right, so going back over to here now. Do you want to finish the news real quick, or do you want to just go on with this?
No, we can finish the news real fast. That's fine.
All right. So the next one is going to be from Connect Modding. They have a new partner coming to FS25. So this is a South American brand. So
let's see.
Right there.
Farm Simulator Venstudo.
Yeah. So
okay.
I mean,
nice.
I probably won't use it, but
you know what? I'm totally on board with all these modders and new brands and all that stuff. It just makes sure that the farm sim just grows and gets bigger and better. And for any of the South American players out there, this looks like it's going to be especially good for you.
Oh yeah. The next one is going to be new news from Vertex Design. Basically, they just have 3 implements from Brussels and Lade coming that they're making. So Yeah, so you have a like a bell grab spike thing, and a silage bell. Oh, yeah, like a silage fork kind of thing.
Oh, I see what it is now. Okay, it's the round and rectangular bale grab. I'm looking at
Yeah.
that thing on the left side. I'm like, what is that? Why is
Yeah.
it like? And then I realized, oh, round and rectangle bale. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm thinking, oh, mods. All right, so the next one on the list, which I believe is next on your list too, is from JAHG Modding. If you get the update, new mods. Yep. Um, this basically just states this core header coming, this gender core header. So
Which JHHG modding makes really good mods. This one just looks really great. I love the fully mechanics of, but just the corn headers in general. But just this one just looks really good. I love how it kind of sandwich stacks on top of each other.
right.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice when this comes out.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. What did I want? The third. So on the fourth, you got to update new mods. Oh yeah, right here. So okay, so we are on the third now. So this is the very last piece of news. This is from Lancey Boy. This is an update to his map. It's farming in Indiana. Basically, he didn't like the roads, so he had to rework them 100 times, and he finally got them right. So it's a work in progress.
Let's go, Lancey boy. Oh, I can't wait.
That, like I said, there wasn't very much news, so we got that out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna drag that back over here, and we're gonna go back over to the FS page. Yeah, so we got the Pomot UPR4. This is by JMZ. It's 11.95 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $18,750, working with 8 to 24 meters, capacity 32,000 liters, and requires 60 horsepower. I found something out actually because it states that the lime goes at 8 meters. The lime goes at 24.
Oh, nice.
I
So
absolutely love this.
yeah, I this is one that I installed. 12 megabytes to install, not too bad. You figure the only brand or the only base game thing that we have that does both lime and fertilizer is the Braidel K105. That's the only one that we have besides the K165, but for all intents and purposes, let's focus on the 105. $45,000 to buy the K105. This is $18,750. So you're saving about 20 plus grand right off the bat. Now, the only problem is that this is 3,200 liters versus the Braidel is 9,000 base. So you're getting significantly more space, but you're spending significantly more money. So if you're looking for just something that's going to be a nice little kind of, sling around, introductory kind of thing, this is going to be a good one for you. And to kind of give you kind of a understanding of a good size comparison, the Amazon ZATS 3200 also does 3,200 liters worth of material, but that only does fertilizer. This does fertilizer and lime. So all in all, the Amazon is 25 grand. This is 18,750. So in all fairness, the Amazon might be a little bit better of a comparison in size wise and price. Both which it kind of rounds it out. 12 megabytes to install. Yeah, and I installed this on my game, and I highly recommend this one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like especially if you're running like a small farm,
Exactly.
Let's see here. The next one is going to be the DeWolf Centra 40 Integral. This is by DMI Jorn Pafut. I think that's how you pronounce it.
What'd you call me?
Oh, I didn't call you anything. Let's see. So this is going to be 23.60 megabytes to download. The price tag is going to be $108,680. You have a horsepower requirement of 240 and a working width of 3 meters. But I find this very interesting though because this is a potato planter, but it also makes ridges at the exact same time.
So this is very similar to I believe it's the Grimmy Compacta, which is $199,000 to purchase, $199,500 to purchase, and it requires 170 horsepower. So this one requires 240 horsepower, so it's significantly higher, about an extra 70-ish horsepower in order to power this specific mod. But the price difference is almost $90,000, $80,000 difference. And if you're looking to plant potatoes, this is a good one. And just like the Grimmy, that one does the ridges as well. So all in all, I think that this one is kind of worth it. And, for 24 megabytes, it's a little bit high, but again, it's a nice little comparable. And the Grimmy there is 6 meters. This is 3 meters. So you're going half the size, which that's the unfortunate part. And part of the reason why you're getting such a reduced rate. Maybe this one also looks like a comparable too. This is the Grimmy GL420, and this actually might be a better comparable because this one's 3 meters, requires 150 horsepower. This one also does the ridges as well, if best I can tell. It looks like it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, so actually, now that I'm kind of saying all that, this is same size. It doesn't tell me of capacity. The DeWolf requires more horsepower by actually quite a bit, almost 90 horses, and is almost double the price. The Grimmy GL 420 is $69,500. This is $108,680. So you're paying a lot more for this one. So you know what? I would say no. I would say no to this one.
I mean, it also all depends on if you're big into DeWolf, then yeah. Oh.
Well, and again, for me personally, this gets overridden by everybody's individual preferences and whatnot. But me personally, I'm not such a brand loyalist that I'm going to spend an extra 50 grand almost to have that brand when I can get the same job done for almost half again the price. I mean, that's me personally. But again, I'm not so like, oh, I've got to have DeWolf, or I've got to have Grimmy, or I've got to have Case, or anything like that. Like I have preferences, obviously, but I'm not gonna let those preferences change things.
Right. Series. Next one is going to be the Sigma TR255. This is by Peppa978. His very first mod, actually. Mod help. Congratulations.
Nice.
For FS25. This means 7.64 megabytes to download. This is under forestry, not on mulchers. The price tag is $8,500. The horsepower requirement is between 60 and 120. And the working width is 2.55 meters.
So I wonder why forestry and mulchers, because I mean, it's not showing like it would actually like take care of trees or anything. It's basically just showing grass work and stuff.
This I do know will remove stumps.
It will remove stumps. Okay, so that makes a difference. So if we kind of look at like stump grinders, I guess would be kind of or maybe no, mulchers right there. Okay. Let's see. $8,500 for this thing, and a horsepower requirement of 60 to 120. Wow, this is actually a really good introductory. So base game comparable would be the TMC Kinsella THX 180 for $23,000. Again, you're saving more than half again the price. Power requirements for the TMC is 180. This is 60, even as high as 120. So again, it's less horsepower that you need. Working with, this is 2.55 compared to the TMC's 1.8. So, I mean, so far, and actually this is, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. The TMC that I'm looking at is a excavator tool. So it's not really a good comparable. And actually, this is going to be even better. Brace yourselves. So there's still the TMC Kinsella TFR 250. Starting price for that is $89,500. So you're saving over $80,000 using this thing.
Uh-huh.
And it's working with is 2.5. This is 2.55. So you're getting a bigger implement and it's significantly cheaper. And the horsepower requirement for the TMC is 360. This is again the highest at 120. All in all, download this all day, all night. 8 megabytes to install it. This one is significantly better than base.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So much so that I am going to actually pull this up on another tab and I'm going to install it.
Oh, Benji, what's going on, man? He says, "Hey, Will T, hello. Do you want to catch up with your chat real quick? Let's see, a couple of them."
Absolutely. Joseph, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, so excited for this mod. Absolutely. Northern Farm Sim, how's it going? Says, howdy y'all. Looks like a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe. 100%. Benji says, hey, Northern Farm Sim. We got Northern Farm Sim says, hey, man. And Jay Meister says, hey, BDD. Hey, Jay, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic one as well. And it looks like I'm all caught up.
Perfect. All right, let's see. The next one is going to be the JCB E-Tech Power Pack. This is by Rawson Mods. This is going to be 2.80 megabytes to download. The capacity is 46 kilowatts, so this holds electric. Price tag is $4,980.
So think back to when I was talking about the gas can, the diesel can from earlier in the stream. Apply everything I said to this. I love this. I think this is a really cool idea. This is essentially just a mobile gas can for your electric vehicles. You're able to, wander around with it and take it from, location to location using obviously liftable tools and stuff. But you can use it as just a mobile battery pack. And I think that's absolutely fantastic to bail yourself out if you run out of a charge or something like that. You can also carry it around and just kind of use it as like a on-site Jenny for like role plays and stuff like that. And 3 megabytes to install, $5,000 to purchase. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a cool little idea, especially if you're big into the electric vehicles.
Yeah, 100%. Next one's going to be a big flashlight. This is by Lost Gamer. This is going to be 1 megabyte to download. It's $55.
So this one, I actually kind of really like this one. For a megabyte, not too bad. $55, not too bad. I mean, that's really cool. But what I like about it is that kind of warm yellow hue that the light has as compared to like in the game itself. It's more of a cool white light. For the base game kind of look. I don't know, it kind of has like a little old school kind of charm to it. I remember this style of flashlight back when I was younger, having the big giant, I think it was like a 9-volt battery that you just slam into this thing. It weighed a metric ton, but man, was it so much fun to use.
Yo, I really like the night vision one that came to 22. Let's see here. The next one. This is going to be increased fuel prices. This is by ZYX and Weasel. That's Weasel. This is going to be 64 kilobytes. And all this basically does is fluctuate your diesel prices to make it more realistic, like today's date. So it can fluctuate, go up and down. So, which I really like a lot.
If you're looking for realism, this is a good one. For less than less than a megabyte, it's 64 kilobytes. You get that little flare of realism. Increases your prices and makes it to where there's kind of the movement throughout the calendar year. So, which is nice. I mean, just being able to have that as a kind of base game component throughout the year. I like that. Then definitely worth install in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. The next one is going to be Cowshed. This is by LQM. This is going to be 36.67 megabytes to download. You can hold 60 cattle. Your price tag is going to be $60,000. Your daily upkeep is $25.
So 37 megabytes. That's number
Yeah.
one. It's a huge file size for the building and all that, but it looks fantastic. I mean, you look at this and it just looks amazing. The brickwork on the outside of the building, you kind of see the kind of weathering that's on it, the kind of, like we were talking about earlier, the kind of mold that's in the mortar and stuff. You can kind of
Oh,
see that in there as well. It just looks fantastic. The kind of alternating color tile inside the brickwork there, I think, is really sharp looking. I mean, $60,000 for a 60 cattle pen. I mean, looking at kind of base game comparables and stuff. Let's see, 60. Probably the closest base game would be the Horman Cow Barn for 50 cows, but $254,000. So this is 60 grand. So it's significantly cheaper, and it gives you the same milk triggers and all that stuff that you would get from this one as well. So it's significant savings, but is that savings worth the near 40 megabytes to install? This one's going to be a push for me. I could see an argument both ways on this one.
well, there's actually a trigger. I forgot if it's over on the milk side or if it's on the other side of the building. But um, I should have taken it back. It's on both sides. But you can walk up. There's like a little trigger area. You press to operate the trigger, and a ladder appears, so you can actually go right up to the hayloft, and it works.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's cool.
so
Yeah, so you can actually use the hayloft as actual storage. So if you got something like the liftable bales mod or something like that, then
mhm,
yeah, then you're going to be good to go.
yeah. Next one is going to be the Wazooian cow barn.
What'd
I
you call me?
apologize. I didn't call you anything.
Lies.
I'm sorry. Well, if you want to see someone called you by something, that's by side C E. Oh. uh, it, the 52.19 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $50,000, a daily maintenance of $10, a capacity 20 cows.
So
Hard pass.
hard pass. Yeah, 52 megabytes, 53 almost. I mean, that right there is way too much, but gorgeous mod. It looks fantastic. Again, kind of copy and paste everything I was saying about the previous mod into this. That mortar work, that kind of weathering and all that stuff. Just looks fantastic, and it does look like a good model. The problem is that, again, 20 cow capacity. That's real small. There's not even
Oh,
a good base game comparison to that, really. I mean, there's the cow barn that has 35 cows, but as best as I can tell, this actually gives milk, so it's really not a good comparison because the cow barn's only made for non-milking cows.
oh.
So yeah, I mean, this one is kind of in a league of its own. 20 cows, $50,000. Yeah, it would be a hard pass just the megabyte size by itself, and then you throw into it 20 cows and 50 grand. Meh, not worth it in my opinion.
I'm watching your video right now, and Northern Farm Sim brings up a great point. So the one we're on right now, I'm gonna call it the W cow barn because I'm not gonna try to repronounce that again. Um, that has static cows built in, so it's not even actual like cows.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm reading the. Okay, so Northern Farmstead said, is that the one with the static cows? And also, exterior on the cow building is nice, but if it's the one with the static cows, it'd be a hard pass. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I 100% agree. It's one of
Uh-huh.
those that I don't think there's ever a really good reason to use static animals, especially with that
Right.
file size. You're talking
Right.
53 megabytes to install, and you don't have like realistic moving animals. Yeah, hard pass. I agree with you. Northern
Yeah. 100%. Next one is going to be the modular pig pen. This is by Schultz Modding.
Schultz.
Schultz. It's going to be 3.88 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $25,000. Exact same price as the cow barn. Exact same as the daily upkeep, 50, and it holds 1,000 pigs. You have a water trough, which is $250, and a Hog Hut, which is $250.
So basically, the same thing I said about the cow barn. That's kind of the similar version of this. Yeah, apply it to that as well. I absolutely love it. 4 megabytes to install, 1,000 pigs, 25 grand, and you get a water trough and a hog hut. Oh boy, sign me up all day, all night. Love this.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yep, yep, exactly.
Let's see here. Oh, we're almost done. So the next one is going to be the Bunker Silo Pack. This is by, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. I'm going to say M&K. There we go.
M&K.
So it's going to be 6.74 megabytes to download. You have different kind of bunker silos. So you have a 15 by 6.5. You have a 25 by 9 and a 25 by 10.4.
So, kind of the best base game comparisons we have. The cheapest one we have base game is $25,000. The smallest one we have here is 14 grand. Even the biggest one that we have on this mod is $21,000. So, the biggest one here is cheaper than the smallest one we have base game. Now, doesn't really, no, it does. The small bunker silo is 6 meters by 31 meters. That's a 25 grand one. So you're talking, it's actually slightly bigger. The biggest one is slightly bigger than the smallest base game one, and it's cheaper. So 7 megabytes to install, and it looks pretty good. Again, it's got that kind of weathering on it that's just kind of makes it look like it's been there for a while. It's definitely seen some time in the sun and in the elements kind of thing. If bunker silos are your thing, then this might be worth the install.
Now, I will say that it does have a 3.5 rating by 14 people. Now, I can tell you exactly why that is.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
The bleeding through the walls is unnecessary.
Oh, it's really bad? Real bad?
Oh, yeah. Oh, real bad. Like,
okay, take everything I just said and knock it down a few points.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Hayloft. This is by Peisel. This is going to be 1.42 megabytes to download. You have a price range between 5,500, 6,000, and 6,500. You have a daily upkeep of $5 a day. Field types hay, straw, grass, and capacity is 250,000 liters.
Love this. Absolutely love this. And here's why. Just like I was saying with the previous ones, quite a while ago actually now, to where you can basically take a useless building that you either can't enter into or that isn't like being functional for much else and make it into a functional building. I absolutely love that. And being able to utilize like your hay and straw and grass and all that stuff for a hayloft. I think this is a brilliant mod. I love it when modders do this, and 2 megabytes to install this is dirt cheap when it comes to size, and you get up to 250,000 liters of storage for $6,500 at the high end. I mean, sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Slurry Tanks. This is by Austria Modding. This is going to be 1.87 megabytes to download. So you have a price tag of $65,000. The other upkeep is $25 and capacity of 500,000 liters. Now, this I really like because it does come with all different kinds. But so you have your circular one that like shows manure, which is, and then you got, so that one that's on your screen. I'm seeing watching your live stream right now. And then the next one that just popped up, you have 2 different versions of these. So you can have the normal ones you just place on the ground, but you also have some that when you put it on a hillside, it looks like it's built up onto the hillside.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm looking at base game comparables, and it basically replicates the base game. $65,000 in price. and 500,000 liters of storage capacity. That's all fine and dandy, but this comes with a whole bunch of these different looking models, like what you were saying before, the one that it just looks like it's kind of built onto the hillside and all that. That's really nice. I love that. But it also has these different looking ones where you can like have it as a kind of a stand-in for your cow barn. This one looks almost identical to the one that we have in base game. So I mean that one is what it is. But I love the options this gives us, and for less than 2 MB to install, yeah, I would install this.
Yeah, so you have the third picture in. So you have like third picture in, which shows the like the concrete rectangular box with the wood slabs with the one off and the pipe out, right?
Yep.
If you go all the way to the last one, it's the exact same one. You actually have to walk up and open it, like press open
Oh,
to
no,
be able,
that's cool.
to be able to fill it. So
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love
Mm-hmm.
this mod. Absolutely love this mod. So the last two mods that we're going to go over, the first one is the memory, which is an update. This got a massive update. Now this is 545.2 27 megabytes to download. This got changelog 1.0.1.0. I am not going to read this entire thing off, but I'm just highlighting it. But it came with a massive changelog.
So this map I gave a 4 out of 5. I really like this map. I'm glad to see that it came out with a very big changelog right away. Because this only released like not even like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago on its original release date. Yeah, now it's here again. Let's see, 4.3 is when it says it was released. I don't know if that updates with the changelog or not, or if that's the original date of release.
Changelog.
Is that with the changelog? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if that's the case, then, I mean, it wasn't long. It wasn't out for long. But it had some pretty significant updates that it made. Changed around a lot of stuff with the orchards that were on the map, which this is the first map that I'm aware of where it has, like, actual production points like orchards and stuff. It made a bunch of corrections, a bunch of different things, fixed a bunch of collisions that were missing, like at the sawmill. Yeah, all in all, I mean, there's still going to be some things I think that are going to need some work. I haven't tested it out and taken a look. I did go through and do the update video if anybody's interested, and go and check that out. But I think it's an absolutely wonderful map. I'm in line with the user rating at 3.8 at the moment. I gave it a 4. So very, very nice looking map. So I'd highly recommend this to anybody out there.
Yeah. And the last one is going to be the fruit greenhouse. This is by the MTL modding team. This is 6.42 megabytes to download. Then you have a changelog 1.1.1.0. Adjusted the doors and windows that were moved by update 1.1.0.0. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, this one here, I really like this in. I like this one in the fact that it makes it to where a lot of the stuff that is not really ones that you would necessarily go after. Like, there's going to be people who love the grapes, who love the olives, and the systems that it uses. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the grapes and olives. I think it's a huge nuisance to do those two in particular. And there was several times where I did like an entire series that was just dedicated to nothing but doing grape work. So it was one of those that by the end of the series, I was just like so done with it. Because that was basically the whole series was around grapes. And it was just an absolute nightmare when everything was all said and done. So having these kind of mods to where you can kind of, skip all that work going into it, and you're kind of only thing that you're really out is the extra inputs of seed, solid fertilizer, and herbicide. Yeah, sign me up all day for that one. Yeah, love that. And if you're not big into doing the green beans, peas, or spinach as well, you can use this to do that too. So yeah, love this mod.
That's it. So yeah, because we didn't get mods on Friday. Well, FS22 did. And we didn't get any mods on Monday. So that was it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, we got quite a few really good mods here. I'm thinking back to Palanque as the map that came out that really kind of caught my eye. I really like that, and I mean, there's definitely a bunch that came out that are going to be really really good mods moving forward. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the pace at which we're starting to get mods now, and really happy with um, how it seems like a lot of the mods that we got very very late in FS22 are now starting to make a very quick appearance here in 25. That makes sense.
Well, now I have a question for you.
Uh-oh. I have a possible
Now,
answer.
now out of all of last week, well, because I consider Sunday being the start of a new week, but out of out of all last week, what is your favorite mod?
Ooh. So strictly looking at the mods, I'd have to go with the flower production. That one I really really like that one by AgriKevolution.
Yeah,
The fact that we now have a production point that is going to fully utilize each one of our crops that we put in, and the byproduct of pig food is going to be the additional output, I think is absolutely huge. I I always kind of cringe at the thought of putting something in and not getting that product back out. So like with the base game kind of grain mills and stuff like that, we put in like, I think it's like 44 liters of wheat and get like 17, 18, 19 liters of flour out kind of thing.
yeah,
So now that's no longer a thing. We're going to put 44 liters of wheat in. We're going to get, that 17, 18, 19, whatever it was for flour out. And whatever the difference is between that volume and the volume going in is going to be the pig food kind of thing. So you're going to have that kind of waste product. I love that. I absolutely love it. And I think that it's a beautiful building, a beautiful texture. I'll bring it back up on my screen just real quick. I think the model is fantastic. I love the stenciling on the outside of it. The brickwork that's on it is highly, highly detailed. Like it just, the weathering on the doors and the wood. You can see it right here in the bottom right-hand corner of the photo that I'm showing, the screenshot. And I love that whole loading dock. You'd mentioned it earlier, but I 100% agree. I love the loading dock. It's up high to where you're going to have to use some kind of front loader, some kind of loading tool to get it off the dock and onto whatever kind of equipment that you're taking it on. But I mean, you look at this, very highly detailed, but it's not so detailed that it's just exploding the file size at 19 megabytes. So that
right.
would be probably my favorite right off the bat. What
No,
about you? What would you say is your favorite?
the modular, uh, the modular cow pen.
Oh, the buildable feedlot.
Yeah,
Yep, and that is a very very close second for me. A very close second.
you know, well, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Well, it is 11:53. I do have to hop off because I do have my new job tomorrow. I'm starting my first day,
Congratulations.
so I have to be there by 7:45, and I'm actually getting up early at 6 in the morning to go take a walk with Bree. So
Woo. So you got a big day planned.
yeah, yeah, Bree and I are gonna start taking walks in the morning. So
Oh, awesome, awesome.
so well, I don't know if you're gonna be continuing streaming or not, but I am gonna be saying peace out.
I'm gonna be hanging out for just a few more minutes here. Yep.
All right. Um, I will send you a message over Messenger as we get out because I have an idea for next week Sunday. So,
All right. Yeah. I'll take a look at it. Absolutely.
there you go. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you did, yeah, so there wasn't very much news. We had 3 days of mods, which is better than nothing, honestly. Don't forget Tuesday we have the next act DLC that's coming out. Other than that, if you guys like what you guys saw, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll get notified whenever I post a video. Other than that, I hope all of you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Peace.
bud. Take care.
See ya.
All right, let me catch up with the chat here just real quick. So we got Liz Hunter says hi. Liz, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Northern Farm Sim says olives were good in those orchards found in greenhouses back in FS22. No effort needed. 100%. That's what I absolutely loved about the greenhouse effect of the olives and the grapes, is that it made it to where the simple fact is you didn't have to put in as much of the effort. You didn't have to deal with the collisions. You didn't have to deal with all the headaches that just came with those olives and grapes. Now, don't get me wrong. It was great to try it, to do the series and whatnot, but it was one of those that just wore thin very, very fast for me. The series I'm talking about in particular is the Hills of Tuscany series, and that whole series had its own issues, like top to bottom. There was tons of stuff going on. That map ended from the death of 1,000 cuts. There was a lot of issues, a lot of things that crept up, and actually I created a short. The short that I ended up creating was showing one of the worst things that I kind of came across ever in the history of my recording. And essentially I'd sent a worker off to go across the map for me. And after I'd sent them across to go to the other side of the map, I had to go to the restroom. So I'm recording, doing that thing, and I go run off to the restroom, and I'm sitting there doing my thing. I come back, and all of a sudden my tractor is right next to the starting farm, upside down, and like in between a bunch of fence posts, so I can't like do anything. I'm like just stuck right there, and I'm like, what happened? What absolutely happened here? And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to remember that I recorded something. There's a reason why my tractor's here. And sure enough, I look over the recordings, and what happened is that a worker, my worker was making a turn, and lo and behold, another AI spline, an AI driver was coming from in the other direction. We collided, we just bumped, and I go rocketing halfway across the map back towards the starting farm, like I just got shot from a slingshot, like a trebuchet, just fling, just sent me flying, just boom, and I'm just like, well, that's a thing. And that's, like I said, one of many, many, many issues that was wrong with that series. I had sheep that were out in the middle of a field. Every once in a while, they would just kind of just appear in the middle of a field for some reason. So it just, long story short, it was rough. It was really rough doing that series. Trying to turn the cameras in certain ways to make sure that I wasn't showing those issues that were cropping up. And then eventually, by like episode 20, I think I was at, I couldn't load it into the save file anymore. It was just, something broke that badly that I was like, nope, I'm done. The whole save file just basically gave up on me. And it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, let's see. Northern Farm Sim with the ha-has. Oh yeah, no, it was definitely an interesting series. At the end of it, it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. If it wasn't another thing, it was the next thing, and so on. So there was just so many different things that were wrong, and it was also one of those where the map maker actually integrated two different styles of grapes. There was, normal red grapes and white grapes on there. So you had specific fields or specific vineyards that were dedicated. One was dedicated to white, one was dedicated to red, and so on and so forth. And you had to have separate sets of equipment to deal with each, harvesting of those specific grape styles and all that. It was just nuts. And I actually went through with the mulcher, and by mulching the fields or mulching the vineyards, it actually destroyed the vineyards. It actually deleted them. So I'm like going through, and it's like, okay, why is nothing regrowing? Why is nothing regrowing? And that's when it dawned on me, oh wait, it's because it actually destroyed them. It actually took them off the map, kind of thing. So eventually the map maker came out with a fix. I'm like, well, I've got to fix this. I've got to do something with this. So I had to reload the entire series. It was just an absolute nightmare. I thought at the end of the day, it was a beautiful map. It was gorgeous, but it was just had its flaws. It had its flaws. Yeah, it was nuts. Oh man, but no, it's just one of those where going through the series that we did here, the AgriBusiness Tonight, I love doing this series because it gives the opportunity to kind of really go in depth to a lot of these mods and really kind of suss out ones for myself, but to be able to kind of go through and kind of, you know, hammer through as to what it is that I think of the mods themselves and whether or not they're worth installing onto my machine personally. Which I've gotten a few messages back and people saying, hey, you know, this has really helped me decide whether or not I'm going to install this onto my machine. And a lot of what I say on this show really has no bearing whatsoever for a PC player. You know, a PC player could literally just download stuff until the cows come home, and I mean that almost literally. It's just one of those where they just have the ability to just, you know, as long as they have the storage space on their hard drive, that they can just fill it up with whatever they want. Trust me, I'm jealous about that. I'm jealous being able to have all that space, because you figure, I mean, they don't have to worry about slots, they don't have to worry about, you know, the storage size or anything like that, and makes me really think about investing into a PC. I'll be honest with you, but it's also one of those where, you know, PCs ain't cheap. They're not cheap whatsoever. So yeah, it's, I don't know. One of these days I might end up installing and get one for myself. Jonah says you really should. I tell you what, Jonah, I'm really considering it. I'm really considering it. It's one of those where, at the end of the day, not to have to sit there and worry about this stuff anymore, I think would be fantastic. And I guess I kind of always instinctually knew this, but doing the Farm Sim Talk series and getting to talk with modders such as Gaming Joy and the Shanty Boys and whatnot, doing that show, I've been loving the show. Getting to hear all these stories and the conversations that we've been having has been, I think, absolutely fantastic. But I guess I kind of always knew this, but I didn't realize the prevalence of it. Is that a lot of the modders within the community, modders, map makers and stuff, they oftentimes have this stuff housed individually from the mod hub. So they'll put out releases, or they'll kind of do stuff like beforehand, or they'll just have it just not even a part of the mod hub whatsoever, kind of thing. And then you're basically dealing with, oh hey, there's a tree. Then you're basically like not even have to worry about it going through giants whatsoever. And it's one of those, like, we miss out on so many of those mods that are literal game changers in certain ways. And it just makes me feel left out, you know, at the end of the day, being a console player. So it's one of those that I'm highly considering, like, my options as to what to do at this point. You know, I can't obviously afford to just run out and buy a PC, you know, spend, you know, however much it'd be to get a halfway decent platform. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to be something that I might consider saving up for. Let's see. Northern Farm Sim says, oh yeah, that's true. PC versus console and the download sizes, time to build a PC. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's eventually going to just lead to that. You know, I was talking to the Shanty Boys. You know, it wasn't the last Farm Sim Talk. It was the one. Actually, it was two Farm Sim Talks prior to that, and they basically called it coming over to the dark side. You know, love the Star Wars reference, by the way. But it was just one of those where, I don't know, getting to talk to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you really should," and it's literally everybody tells you, "Oh, you really should," and it's like, "No, I really should." And I think one of these days, I'm definitely gonna do it. It's one of those gonna have to figure it out. Jonah says, "I can't wait for the Friday for the Farm Sim talk with Farmer Cop." Yeah, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I'm so ready for that. I'm digging up various questions, because I had a discussion with Farmer Cop in the background. Really super nice guy, by the way. Really, really looking forward to the Farm Sim talk. Yeah, it's gonna be slightly different because I'm going to include a new segment that's going to be specific to him, because he gave me the green light to be able to discuss things that I personally find interesting, and I think that the community will also find interesting as well. So it's going to be one of those where I'm going to be adding a new segment, because for those who don't follow Farm Sim Talk, what it is, it's a interview show where I get to talk to other modders, map makers, creators within the community, and any kind of connection that they have within Farm Sim, I get to talk to them and interview them. And right now I have it broken down into 3 main segments. Technically 4. A kind of introductory, who they are, where to find them, any shoutouts that they have. That's number 1. Number 2 is the kind of getting to know them section, who they are as a person. Then there's the next segment, the 3rd segment, that's kind of getting to know them better as the creator. That's more related to their content, more related to their channels, or whatever it is that they do within the community. And then the last one's kind of closing things out. Well, I plan on adding a new segment, like I said, that's specific to him, but depending on the creator moving forward, that might be a segment that pops up every once in a while, kind of thing. So it just really kind of depends on the individual that I'll be reviewing or interviewing going forward. So, like I said, really looking forward to it. I've been a big Farmer Cop fan for quite some time. So being able to, have a conversation with him, being able to talk to him, number one, that was a huge thrill for me personally. But being able to actually go through and do an interview with him, I think is going to be just an absolute blast. I'm so excited for it. And I hope everybody else is too. Being able to find out a bit more about him, who he is personally, I think will be, very, very kind of eye-opening. One thing that I always kind of attest to when it comes to especially when it comes to like YouTubers, Twitchers, things like that, is we don't necessarily put up a persona, like we are who we say we are, but unless you're somebody who avidly follows us, like if you're not somebody who avidly follows my content, you're only going to get little snippets of who I am, kind of thing, as a person. You might kind of be like, oh hey, he seems like a nice guy, whatever, like all these individual components that you might pick up along the way. But unless you follow me like all the time, all my content and stuff, you're gonna have only small windows of who I am, kind of thing. And I think that's like that for everybody. I think that we put up like certain snippets of information, certain like details, kind of thing. So you might be able to like piece small portions of a person together, but you're not going to have the totality of like their wants, their desires, the things that drive them, that keep them doing what they're doing. And that's what I'm really looking forward to finding out with Farmer Cop, because again, I've followed his content for a very long time. So I'm really kind of curious about, many different things. And I put it out there for everybody, who follow my content, who follow my channel. If you have questions yourself, feel free to join in. Number one, join into the stream. Join in the stream and ask your questions. That's going to be the easiest way to have your questions answered. But if you're not able to join or whatever the case may be, if you want to submit a question to me, check out my socials. Check out my Facebook, my Instagram, my Discord. Message me. Let me know what it is that you want to know, and I'll ask it. And then that way, if you're not able to join, you can just watch the replay and be able to see your question, asked, then kind of thing. So it's one of those. Yeah, like I said, I look forward to doing every Farm Sim Talk, every single one of them. I've been so enjoying the stories and the getting to know these people on a deeper level. But being able to interview somebody like Farmer Cop, who has the presence that he has, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, like I said, because I am a fan. I am a fan of him. So it's one of those that I'm going to have to, like, woosah, calm myself, and be able to keep my act together, kind of thing. And really, like I said, I've already started doing some research to figure out what kind of questions I want to be able to ask, be able to figure out, what kind of avenues I want to go down with him in particular. Because I have a general kind of framework for all the people that I do interviews with. And what I tend to do is, as I'm listening to them, talk and tell us the stories and who they are and all that stuff, that's where I kind of hone in, and that's where I kind of deviate from my normal kind of, set of talking questions, and what my talking points are not really the best way to describe it, but my normal set of guidelines and questions, and that's where I kind of, dip and dive around as to what it is that I want to discuss with them. So at the end of the day, I'm stoked. I'm really excited. I hope everybody here is too. Gonna be one of those. I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. Let's see. Taco says Farmer Cop has the best tutorials on any content of FS. Yeah, 100%. He has fantastic tutorials. Is a huge help within the community in that regard, and it's just generally entertaining. One of the funniest things that I always enjoy is the crashes. The crash counters. Seeing how he. I don't want to say like nonchalantly, but just kind of like, oh geez, it just like the kind of, how do I say this? I guess the kind of like, did anybody else see that? Like, kind of reactions, kind of thing. I just find it funny, just how he reacts to the crashes and stuff like that. It's just kind of a part of his personality, I think, is what it all boils down to. Let's see. Jonah says, indeed he does. Farmer Groot, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, I'm excited. Your first really, really big YouTube guy that's you're interviewing, unless I'm missing someone else. No, Farmer Cop is going to be the largest content creator that I've done for this series. He's going to be the largest. So, really, really looking forward to it. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it because he's a fan.
Ralph Fanning Jonah donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Hope the time change didn't mess you up too much.
Oh my goodness, Jonah, I don't know if you can tell there, bud. Thank you for the $9.99 Super Chat. Says, hope the time change didn't mess you up too much. Oh man, Jonah, it messed me up good. It messed me up really hard. So last night I had the Farm Sim Talk with Rambo Hacker Gaming. If you haven't checked it out, awesome guy. Really enjoyed it, and a lot of very not so gentle ribbing from other people in the chat, like LFG and the Herd and several others in there. So if go ahead and check it out. Definitely check it out with the chat, because wow, was it entertaining seeing how they were all kind of interacting with each other during the stream. I thought it was really funny, but no, it was just super, super nice guy. Had a really good time, but I stayed up way too late. Completely forgot until, about halfway into the night, and that there was going to be the time change whatsoever. And, of course, I've got the two little girls. They don't care that the time changed. They don't care one rip. So they woke up when they woke up, and needless to say, they came over and woke up Daddy. But my little girl, she's 3 now, and she has gotten into the habit of waking up when the sun comes out. She's actually gotten to the point where we'll tuck her in at night, and we used to tell her, all right, don't come out until the sun comes out. And now she's starting to say it. So just, don't come out till the sun comes out. Just kind of like stay in your room until the sun's out, kind of thing. And as soon as the sun comes out, she, boom, like a light just turns on, and then she decides to come out. Well, of course, the sun came out, and so did she. And she comes crawling into the bed with her mother and me, and she'll just kind of lay there, and on a good day, she'll lay there. If on a bad day, she'll sit there and... so we had to do away with her pacifiers. She had pacifiers for a while there. So what we originally started to do was we cut them, but not throw them out. And she's like, oh, they're broken. They're broken. And it's like, yes, baby, the passies are broken. I guess you don't get a passy no more. You can hang on to it. We would let her hold it. Well, that didn't stop her, unfortunately. So she would take the passy and try to jam it into her mouth, kind of thing. And we were like, no, we don't like that, because she could be trying to sleep with that in the middle of the night and choke on it or whatever. And of course, the worst case scenarios were running through both my wife and my head. So we decided, okay, we got to figure out something else. So we got those little pacifier case holders, like travel case holders. And I took some super glue and I super glued the rim shut. So now she gets the passy with the holder. And little stinker, she'll go into the bed now, and on a bad day, she'll sit there and start rattling it. So, yeah, that's what she decided to do this morning, after I stayed up way too late. So, yeah, needless to say, yeah, that was my start of the new daylight savings time. Let's see, we got... Where was I? Star Spangled Mods, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says, yo, what up, everyone? What up, Star? Hope you're having a fantastic one so far. Says Northern says, no need to be nervous, just people playing video games. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that I guess it's like it'd be one of those things that I wouldn't be nervous if it wasn't somebody who I personally watched, kind of thing. I guess if that makes sense. I'd be the same way if it was like Mr. Sealy P. Farmer Cop, Mr. Sealy P, DJ Goham, they're the reasons why I'm in this space. They're the reasons why I'm here. They inspired me and motivated me to do this. So that's kind of why I'm nervous, is not necessarily I'm worried about, am I going to screw up or anything like that. It's just these are people that I've consumed their content on a very regular basis, kind of thing. So it's kind of a getting to meet the person behind the entertainment, kind of thing, So just one of those. I know I'll be fine. I know at the end of the day, it's gonna be, gonna be fine. It's not gonna be, outside the norm or anything like that. Just, he's just another guy, just like me. Put his pants on one leg at a time, kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's one of those. The other thing that also makes it really cool for me personally is that I have a high regard for those who are in law enforcement, military, things like that. I've got several family members who are either former or active in military, former or active in law enforcement. I've always held these people in high regards, personally. So it's kind of a double whammy for somebody like Farmer Cop as well, because he's also, active in the police force and stuff like that. So it's one of those where at the end of the day, it's like meeting somebody who you got to consume their content and they're in a profession that you highly respect. Like there's going to be like so many things that we're going to be able to talk about come Friday. So really, really looking forward to that. Let's see. Farmer Groot says, "Hello, Star Spangled. I'm from Wisconsin, and I can't wait to play on the Forest Wisconsin map." Yeah, no, absolutely. Really looking forward to Star's mods, his maps there. I keep wanting to call it Wampsville, New York. Really looking forward to that one, just because, again, Womp. Him being a Mario fan, as we learned in his interview the other day, as well as me being a Mario fan. I grew up with Mario. I mean, I started with the original Nintendo playing Mario, and I even got into the whole. I kind of nerded out during our interview there regarding the difference between Mario 1 and Mario 2. That's I always found that story to be very funny. That they basically Mario 2 is a reskin of a different game. For those who didn't know, who is not familiar with Mario 1. So Mario 1 came out, I think it was in the 80s at some point, and it was a huge release. It was absolutely, oops, I missed my turn. It was one of those where it started like a phenomena, back in those days. Well, this other game came out, and I forget what the game was called originally, and I missed my other turn. But it flopped. It flopped hard. So their genius idea is to re-release the game with just Mario as a skin over kind of thing. So that's why, like, the game style looks different, the textures look different, the game mechanics are different, the enemies don't add up. Like, basically everything was kind of retconned into the entire Mario universe kind of thing. So for those who don't remember, one of the main bosses in the second one, right at the very beginning, was the one that had the long purple or pink beak, and it looked like a dinosaur, but it would shoot eggs out of its face kind of thing. And that boss there was the boss that was in the original game that wasn't the skin over. So that's why it felt so different than the first one. Let's see. Kiwi Sim Farmer, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hi, everyone. And again, Jonah with the $9.99 super chat. Jonah, thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate that. Star Spangled says, "Hey Groot, thank you." Farmer Groot says, "No problem." Kiwi Sim Farmer says, "Looking forward to the Farmer Cop, but looking forward to all your interviews. They are always professionally handled." I appreciate that, Kiwi. Yes. Yeah, like I was just got done saying, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm having a blast. I'm really having fun with this series, and I hope everybody's having fun with this series. Farm Sim Talk, I've been very, very fortunate to meet some incredible people. Star being one of them. There was Rambo Hacker Gaming. I kind of alluded with Rambo at the beginning that it was a long overdue meeting, and what I meant by that is Rambo was a member to the channel for a little while. And one of the perks that you get as a member to my channel, being a tier 3 member, is being able to come on and, either do an audio with me, or actually come onto the game and be a part of the game as well. Unfortunately, Rambo's and my schedule never lined up. It just never lined up. Every time I'd say, hey, would you be available here? He wasn't available. Every time you'd say, hey, am I available here? I wasn't doing a stream that day, kind of thing. Or something got derailed to where I couldn't do a stream that day. So it was just one of those, never got that opportunity. Well, finally we were able to do Farm Sim Talk, and we were actually able to interact and actually able to, be in each other's presence. And I had an absolute blast with Rambo last night. Had a great time with Star Spangled Mods a couple of nights before that. The Shanty Boys, before that. Just every single interview that I've done up until this point, I've had an absolute blast with every single person on there. Getting to hear the stories, getting to hear who they are as a person, and really just continuing to cultivate what we have here, which is an amazing community of people. Being able to kind of show off, who these individuals are, what it is that motivates them, what drives them, who they are as a person. I've just been really enjoying that and really looking forward to continuing this series on. Jonah says the joy of having kids. Oh yeah. It's one of those. I'll be perfectly honest. Like I was sitting here saying, oh well, it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not she's gonna, just sit there and lay in the bed, or if she's going to, sit there and rattle and wake us all up. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's one of those that, I don't get all the sleep that I would like to get. I don't get the me time that I used to have. Sure, all that's 100% true. I don't care. I do not care. I love being a father. I love my daughters. They are what drive me and give me purpose in life. To whereas before I had kids, I felt not directionless, but rudderless, if that makes sense. I was going somewhere, but just didn't know where. Those two little girls gave me the rudder to steer the ship and made it to where I now know what I'm driving towards. I now know what it is that I want to do. And it's one of those, that's why I work so hard on the channel. That's why I put in so much effort. That's why I stay up until 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes and have to work the next day at 8 o'clock kind of thing. I don't care. I don't care that I'm missing out on the sleep. I don't care that I'm not as social with my friends as I would like to be. It's one of those where they are the most important things in my world, and I want to, do what I can for them. So it's one of those where, it's incredible. And I think every parent will understand what I'm saying. It's incredible just how they do that for you. Jonah with the gifted membership. Jonah, thank you so very much there, bud. You got the $9.99 super chat earlier. You got the gifted membership here now. It went to Eric D. Jonah, thank you. Thank you so very much. I reached out to you earlier. I'm still expecting that to happen, by the by. So be on the lookout from a message from me tomorrow. And we'll hopefully be able to do what we were talking about earlier. So be good to go there. But yeah, no, just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm so psyched about the series and how what I'm most excited for is the discussion with Farmer Cop is great. It's going to be fantastic. The discussion with everybody I've gotten up to this point has been incredible. But what's really maybe overwhelming is not the right word, but it's as close as I can come off the top of my head. It's just how it's being received, how everybody out there in the audience has really taken to it. It's one of the most positive reactions I've gotten for this channel up until this point. And like I've heard it several times here in this stream, after the show kind of after the show ended. Like it's great, it's fantastic, we're really enjoying it. Like it's one of those where just seeing how everybody's like really kind of how they're enjoying it, it just does my heart good knowing that it's bringing value to the community. And that's what I'm liking most about it is, being able to talk to everybody is fantastic. I'm loving it. But knowing that it's being so well received, that's an awesome part of it. I mean, yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome. Loving it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and deal with this last field over here, and then it's 12:30 right now. I think we can call it an evening after this field. But yeah, I can't thank everybody enough for coming out tonight, watching AgriBusiness Tonight. Can't thank you enough for coming out for Farm Sim Talk, just coming out for the channel, just full set and stop. Just want to thank everybody out there. I need to go that way. Without y'all, I'm just some random Yahoo, probably some crazy person just talking into the ether kind of thing, talking to the internet. So without you, this channel is nothing. So for that, I thank every single one of you out there. And kind of circling back to the show tonight, the AgriBusiness Tonight, I really hope that my take on things is providing value to people. I understand that my kind of takes on things are very hyper specific in regards to the console players. So a lot of the PC players are like, whatever kind of thing. Because I worry about megabytes, I worry about slots, I worry about all these kind of things that are pertinent only to console players. But I also feel like I also kind of throw in things that are pertinent to everybody else as well. So I hope that people are enjoying the series. I really enjoy doing it with Will. Big shout out to WillTGaming, doing this series with me as well. Without him, this show probably wouldn't even be happening. So yeah, big shout out to Will. Greatly appreciate it, man. It's been an absolute blast every single time I come out and do the farm sim. I'm sorry, the AgriBusiness Tonight. Being able to discuss the mods and the maps and stuff like that, and get to kind of throw in our 2 cents about them and whatnot. It's been a blast. Been an absolute blast. I know I've been saying that a lot. I've been saying that a lot here tonight. This is a blast, that's a blast. But it's true. I genuinely have fun with doing all this stuff. So, again, thank you, Will, for doing your thing with the show. Having me come on with it and co-host it with you. Like I said, greatly appreciate that. And just looking forward to where things go from here. Really, really looking forward to how we progress on this channel. So yeah, I think this would be a good place to kind of leave it from here. Ken says, did you know, BDD, that you aren't that far behind Northern Farm Sim in subscribers? I did not know that. No, that's cool. That's it's one of those where, how do I say this? I'm incredibly grateful for every single person that clicks the subscribe button, that follows the channel, that enjoys what it is I'm doing here. It's one of those that I don't proactively like try and compare myself to anybody, whether it's subscriber count or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to have fun with this channel. I am trying to grow it, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those that if I compare myself to others and their channel, then I'm afraid that I would just stop having that fun, and I'd be like more concerned of, oh well, this person is light years ahead of me, or this person that we started at the same time, and I'm here, they're there, and what am I doing wrong or what am I doing right, kind of thing. It's just I'm trying to have fun, and I'm hoping that fun translates out into a good product for everybody else to enjoy. At the end of the day, that's what I'm hoping translates out for everyone. So yeah, no, it's that's kind of my ultimate goal at the end of the day. But like I said, I think this is going to be a good place to leave it. We're pretty much at the tail end of this contract here. This is what I kind of work on in the background when playing, or not when playing, when doing agribusiness, is I just sit here and kind of either play this game or set up workers to kind of generate money and whatnot. But it also gives me the opportunity to be able to come up with those comparables and all that stuff. So while I'm sitting here, kind of chatting about, hey, this mod, compared to this and that, and all the kind of things I do for the show, gives me the opportunity both to play the game and whatnot, but at the same time be able to have a kind of reference point. So yeah, that's kind of how it all works here. But again, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight and showed their shared their time and whatnot with the show. Again, big shout out to WillTGaming. Thank you, Will, so very much for everything that you do for the show. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate everybody who came out and hung out. Yeah, and like I said, going to be really working hard this week. Going to be coming up with some new questions for Farmer Cop. Going to be, like I said, I'm going to be introducing a whole new segment to that. I anticipate that it's going to run longer than the average interview that I've done up to this point. Generally, I shoot for about 2 hours when it comes to these interviews. But I anticipate that there's going to be people with questions. I anticipate that I'm going to have more questions than usual. So yeah, all that said, it's going to be one of those that I'm going to be working very hard this week to make sure that it's a good one. So I really hope that you all come out for it. And again, greatly appreciate everybody who came out here tonight. And yeah, all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed AgriBusiness Tonight, and I certainly hope that you enjoyed the follow-up to AgriBusiness here. Just me kind of chatting on about things. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. Their shows you engage with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.